Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. What was I doing? Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm doing me. What's up, I just Trick? How you doing, man? How's it going, lads? Oh. Do I have one of everything yet? No. Let's go again. Good afternoon, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. Twitch.tv. Hello, what's up, PB and Ray? What's up, Denali? /NepentheZ. And then the YouTube link for you dudes. What's up, guys? How are we? How are we? How are we? Didn't think I'd be buying championship cards, but just spam bids on Derby players as first time we were in the game. Oh, hell yeah. Championship players, I mean English second, yeah, the English second division cohort. Ba, 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 run. Rewards overhaul. Earn immediate rewards after every match. EA is redistributing weekly milestone rewards into direct end of match coins, packs, and SP. No more playing modes you don't like just to hit weekly caps. Freedom to play your preferred mode all week long. I don't believe that for a second. You guys believe that for a second? Thoughts on Eddie Howe leaving Newcastle? Yeah, I don't really have any, mate, to be honest. I don't really have any. Is a bit of a cool, you know? Have you seen the signature cards in FC27? I haven't. Where are they? Yo, what's up, YouTube? How you doing? Bowen's price is crazy. Yeah, he'll be one of the more expensive players from the championship, that's for sure. Who posted on the signature cards? Foot Champions rewards in FC27. The token store will be a regular system letting you choose your own rewards like in FC26. You can expect permanent tokens such as Champs Points, promo-specific tokens for selected campaigns. Not every promo will have them. Have I bought much since last night? I have, yeah. Foot Sheriff tweeted it. FC27 icon changes. All base icons will have minimum rating of 88 overall. Oh, Jesus. No new playstyles coming to FC27. I thought there was. Oh, Foot Gallery. Come get your real life autograph. Foot Gallery will also have token rewards. Same as in the SBCs. Each player has a score, and this is important for gallery level progression. Cosmetics and gallery token rewards. Guaranteed holographic players at some gallery level as rewards. Gives us another reason, apart from our starting 11. Every player you had in the club becomes part of it. That could be pretty cool, couldn't it? That could be pretty cool. For some reason, the YouTube chat is not hitting the stream yet. Always a problem, isn't it? Always a problem. Yeah, that stuff's pretty cool. I'll wait until EA release the information, of course. Yeah, what's up, Viper? What's up, Bedoza? How you doing, man? J-League bundles seem to have some issues. Cannot search by ending soon. Wonder when they'll fix it. Maybe that's why it was delayed in the first place. What's up, Anwar? How you doing, man? What's up, the Goat Lozano, Mateys, Smoggy, and Niall? How you doing, bros? Oh. Do you ever wake up, guys, and you're just numb? Your arms are just numb. That was me this morning. Right. We're back at it again, baby. We're back at it again. What's up, Jordan? How you doing, man? What's up, Gibbo? What's up, HP Master? How you bros doing? I was going to try and get the 1,000 of Ada Morris, but I can't warrant paying the price he's going for. Yeah, one-offs are never worth it. Ever. Never, ever. Forever, never. Never, forever, forever, for never. Forever, never, for never, ever, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Right. Am I buying anything right now? Nope, market is clear. Let's have a little look at the collections and start working through them. The ones that we need to complete and the ones that we are basically done on. So we'll start with NHL. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clubs to complete. We'll take a look at the Austrian Bundesliga. 1, 2, 3 clubs to complete. What's up, Rom? How you doing, man? So pumped for the Premier League. Hell yeah, dude. Honestly, the stuff that has been revealed about UT makes it seem much more like a free-to-play mobile game while being a full-price game. Yeah, but like, you're not buying Ultimate Team. You're buying FC27, which also includes career mode and manager mode and clubs and like all of the other game modes. Like, it's not, EA aren't selling FC27 Ultimate Team. Do you know what I mean? Bro. Right, babe. Thanks. I'm streaming. Yeah. What's up? Hello. Do we actually see Vinicius Jr. happening to Arsenal? It's possible. It seems like it's very possible, yeah. Right, 1 card needed there. Don't want to pay that price for him. We'll hold tight. No cards available for him. That's all done there. Arsenal moving very slowly this transfer window while Chelsea and City are basically wrapped up with their business. We need to strengthen ASAP. Like, do we? We got Melier. We signed Hincapié. We got Upson. We got another 16-year-old youth kid. Like, we don't need much. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're going to have Marino back from injury. If we've already signed Zolis, if we get Bruno and then one of Vinicius Jr. or Julian Alvarez, that's calm. That like we didn't really need much. We just needed players to stop getting injured. Do you know what I mean? Or do you disagree? Newcastle showing you can't just throw money at the Prem and hoping. What? Merson was saying that if we don't bring Vinny or Barcola, then we're in trouble, apparently. Yeah, I don't think we are. I think Zolis is going to be fantastic for us. And I think Martinelli is fantastic for us. I don't think that we're going to be in trouble if we don't sign a huge superstar. Would I like Bruno Guimaraes? Yes. Would I love Vinicius Jr.? Yes. But we are already the champions. The team is already good enough. I'm new to Sorare, but after watching your videos, I started to buy Eredivisie players. What's the difference between using the early release players rather than using players from previous seasons? The current players, the in-season players, these ones that you see on my screen, they allow you access into these tournaments and these tournaments, whereas the old ones only allow you access into these tournaments. PSG want 145 million for Barcola. Yeah, that's crazy, by the way. Genuinely, if Barcola is worth 145 million, Martinelli is 100 million, right? Do I think Barcola is probably currently the better player? Yes. But are they worlds apart? Definitely not. Yeah, just 1 player left to go from Salzburg. How much sporting players did you get? Yeah, I got quite a few. I just decided to bite the bullet on those teams, and I want to actually show you guys why. Let me just look at whack pellets real quick. I keep talking myself into thinking that this might be the greatest idea I've ever had on Sorare. And I've had some cracking ideas over the years. I'm not putting more than £4. Let me get the spreadsheet up of how much I've spent. So the Liga NOS so far, 2,240. I've got a few more cards to go, but not many at all. And I've got most of the big cards, almost all of them. Let's even say this pushes up to 2,500 for Portugal. The wheel spins that I'll get back will have some good value for me. We've assigned about a £60 to £80 value there. The collection rewards that I get back from this will have a £200 to £300 return because I'll be getting 2 icons, 4 stars, and 8 stars and 6 key players, right? And so then let's even say that the net loss on the League of Portugal after the kind of like initial returns come back without even having to play anything is £2,000. Then I go here and I go, damn, I would just have to, so long as I keep employing the strategy of having a classic and in-season rare when I'm on the final streak and maybe when I'm on the penultimate streak, I will literally only have to hit the top streak, not the 3x version, just the 1k version, one time to return my investment. And I sit there and I think to myself, if I can't do it one time with any time entry, with Famalicão, Porto, Sporting and Benfica, it's because I have made huge mistakes, not because the opportunity isn't there. Do you think waiting with this method 2 to 3 game weeks will make it even better since prices will be much lower? Yeah. You will miss out on the boosted rewards, but I think it'll be an interesting thing to consider. Like, how much do I make off the boosted rewards in the next 4 game weeks? Is that more than what I would have saved by buying the players later? And that's how you'll only know whether or not it was worth waiting after the rewards to get them cheaper or not after the fact. You can't know beforehand. Yeah, so Whack Pellets, did I send a bid on? Yeah, already outbid on him. So that was Pro. That was the Croatia. That was Contender. Already. We're basically done there. Not even basically done. It's like I'm literally at 5 cards away. Right, Scottish Premiership. I actually think I'm mostly done here. Like, all of the players that I don't have either aren't accessible or people are just paying too much for. Giving you a classic Horde tune-up, you'll probably have 5 to 10% plus ROI by Xmas. The essence is going to be nuts. Yeah, I'd like to. I'd like to hope so. I'd like to hope so. What's up, Fabe? How you doing, man? Vinny wants 25 million euros per year from Raul. Raul wants to pay 20. Yeah, Arsenal will give him 30. We'll just take him. In a good weekend league, Portuguese league, he can easily clear 4 or 5 steps. Yeah, I agree. And that's what I mean. Like, then it will become down to the last stages. How will we tackle the last stages? We'll have to be smart with those final stages, you know, maybe even missing weeks. You know, if I'm on the 6th tier and Sporting are playing against Porto, I'm just not playing that week. I'll just put all my lineups in season instead, in like arena instead. Aberdeen. I was gonna say, this happy guy, man, he just keeps going, man. Have you also invested into rare? No. Nope, I haven't bought a single rare in-season card, nor will I. Well, I will actually, just not to keep. I'll be buying them to utilize them to sell them on straight away after the game week. What happens when your player goes from in-season to classic during a game week, but after he has played? I'm struggling to understand when that would ever be an issue, when that would ever occur. What's the context? Why are you asking that specific question? We'll try and do some watch-alongs this weekend. Yes. I wanted to do Friday night, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. So Saturday will be the first one. What a last you had in MFL Prestige 26. Yeah, I'm so gutted, man. I'm so gutted that I didn't win that other game. Because now I've run my team into the floor to get these wins at the back end of the season. So my players are like pretty knackered now. So I don't think I'm going to get promoted. If top just lost instead of drawing, you had it. Yeah, I know, that was really annoying. And that would have been 4 teams finishing on the same amount of points. How mad that would have been. So if he transfers from League 1 to Eredivisie, but League 1 starts 2 weeks later. Yeah, so he's in season until the League 1 cards come back. Hey, I just wanted to ask, will you be doing the late night streams again anytime soon, or will you be too busy? Uh, I'm not necessarily not streaming at night because I'm too busy. It's more just because I don't want to. But if football is on and we're invested, and hey, we are invested, then at least through the school holidays for this next 5 weeks, we'll be doing some late night watch alongs for sure. Why didn't you do any watch alongs for the World Cup? I was just too busy. And the games were just too late. Like I was going to bed at like 10, 11 o'clock at night because I'd take my daughter to school, and so I get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I cannot be very well so basically like the workload was getting up at 7, sorting the kids out, home by 9, then working, doing FC content and stuff until 3, then going to pick up the kids, and then having my children in the evening and stuff. And then I was just knackered by the end, so I was watching the World Cup just for my own self because I was just shattered every day. I'm an old man now, you see, guys. Would you run a Lask stacking leaderboard for the first week? Feel I have enough over the weekend to get to step 3 with Laskin streaks. So I've just made a video. I've just recorded a video. It'll be live reasonably soon, I guess. I'll do one more tick on him, but I feel like he's just going to keep coming down. Yeah, I'm not doing more on that. Where I was kind of talking about there's going to be a really fascinating strategy issue, let's say, around what players I put in the leaderboards versus what players I save for the streaks. Because obviously we have to put the leaderboard players in first and then use the streaks players. Brought any rewards packs on MFL yet? No, I haven't. I'll sort my MFL stuff out literally after the season is finished. I know it's rewards day today, but I've still got like promotion and relegation things to deal with. Yeah, I'm struggling with that already. Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a really, really, really difficult thing to do. What did I just do? I just click on him twice. I think I did, didn't I? See, I don't want to buy him. For some reason he looks like super inflated. Both my ice teams finished second, 1 point off top. Damn, that's tough. Can you cancel leaderboards and use them in streaks mid-game week? So we believe the answer to that is no. But it's really unclear because it was more spoken about streaks cancelled lineups to reuse. Like, let's say for the sake of argument, you have a lineup where 2 players have played. Let me go to my contender lineup. Okay, 2 seconds. Let's say that these first 4 players played, but Carlos Cuesta hasn't. And I'm like, oh, damn, I can't get the reward on this, so I want Cuesta back. Let me cancel the lineup. You will not get Carlos Cuesta back for another lineup in this situation here. I think that's facts. I'm not sure if you cancel an in-season lineup if you get the players back. I don't know. Let me be right back, guys. 1 sec. What did you help with, mate? Oh, apologies, guys. My son wanted Plants vs. Zombies on the Xbox. All right, what was I doing? Zach Morris, thank you very much for the 29 months, man. That is much appreciado. Oh, yeah, we was going through the... oh, yeah, I was theorizing on the... how can you cancel players and stuff. So best team goes into arena and the next into streak. I don't know, actually. I don't know. Let me just finish off popping on some bids and stuff here, because I want to obviously try and get as close as possible as I can on finishing these collections. Have you seen Bowen Limited is currently 96 quid with over 9 hours to go? Yeah, that's mad, isn't it? I'm not surprised, because it's obviously anticipated that he will score well, very well. So I'm not surprised people are spending that much money on him. However, I have a feeling his like 10th, 15th and 20th mints are going to be in like the 20 to 30 pound range, not in the hundreds of pounds range. Don't want to go again on him. I'll wait. Panashut Kamara. I keep missing out on this guy over and over and over again. In MFL, I'm in the relegation playoffs. Is there a reason why I can't see myself in any playoff rounds? Because it, depending on where you finished, will depend on when you play. There might have to be other rounds played beforehand, so that you can then get your fixture and like your the person that you're going to play against. I've always played limited and will again this year, but do you think there's any value in buying 5 rare classic bangers as they're cheap to play rare classic on the side? Yeah, I absolutely do. Although keeping in mind, for rare classic, you need 7, not 5. I wonder just how many real big hitters in the championship, so rare-wise. Yeah, like, it's going to be fascinating. Like, even looking at, you know, Morris from Middlesbrough last season, his scores were banging, and they were mostly AA related, right? Yeah, look at that. That is unreal. Like he had a little injury, but like, look at that error led to goal. He's still got 58 points. Like, that is really good scoring. Really good scoring with no decisives. Will players like Ronaldo, Neymar, once retired, hold any value as collectibles as no more cards? Like, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Sorare's too much of a... The word transient comes to mind. Define transient. Passing move, temporary job or brief pain. Noun refers to a person who moves place to place to stay somewhere. Sentence in science and engineering describes a short-lived change or surge in a system. Yeah, so like I think Sorare is just like too transient for a card, a collectible, to hold any value. His bestie Berhalter just signed for Borough as well. Did he actually? Damn. That's pretty cool, isn't it? No real nostalgia in Sorare, really. Yeah, and it's definitely an area that Sorare should focus on, because they should be building something that makes people want to collect these cards, right? Is that Jimbo in the stream I see? Leave the Norwich cards alone for a bit. I won't go anywhere near them, mate. You just give me the green light when I can. You just give me the green light when I can. So check that, check that, check that. Let's go to Portuguesa Liga. Oh, we've completed Academico Moriense. Yeah, we're only 7 on... Yeah, well, I mean, we're most of the way through. Most of the way through. Have I bought any Eredivisie cards yet? Like 3, I think. But they were all like just the DMP guys. You know, like just me putting £1 bids on to see who I can scrape together. It is getting... It's starting to get costly, guys. It is starting to get costly. I can't lie. But... So this is what I was talking about earlier, right? I just need to show it again, because it's like it just makes so much sense in my head. Like, let's take the Austria and Croatia. They're the same. They're the same. let's say the Scottish League, £2,000 are spent and we're done, right? The league is done. If I just hit that top streak once during this next four game weeks, I've made the money back. And that's excluding all of the other ways to yield. If I don't hit that top streak during the 3x rewards, all I'll need to realistically do is hit the top streak twice, maybe 3 times. No, twice. Twice would be enough. Twice with the in-season rare captain as my captain, and I'd make the money back. And I look at it and I just think, there's no way. There's just no way that I don't achieve that. There's just no way. Like, with how powerful Celtic and Rangers are, and with any time entry, there's just no way I don't achieve it. And with how I want to say easy, easy, how easy these lower score targets are, there's no way I don't get up to that that 5th and 6th streak, like multiple times. Clipped, I'm going straight in for Norwich. No way I don't achieve it. So I said to Josh earlier, I said, I've just done a why I'm buying one of everything video. I've put it in the editing folder for Sorare, as and when you can, please. I said, honestly, every time I do a vibe check on this and talk myself through the process, I can't see a way it fails other than me just not having enough time or skill. And Josh said time. It's going to be time. And it is going to be time. Time and patience, man. If I'm here, let's say I've hit the 410 and I'm on the 440, but Celtic are playing against Rangers, just skip that. Just skip the week. Don't put a lineup in there. Just skip the week. Wait until they have more favorable matchups and then go. With your strategy, what would your boost be for the final streak rewards? 40% or higher? It'll be either 40 or 45, yeah, depending on how good rare classics I've got. You need to make sure you stick to that and not cave to FOMO, though. And so the reason why I think I won't cave to FOMO is because there's so many leagues to choose from. I can carry on playing through the other ones, you know? How much tickets am I on? What are we on now? 1,800 and soon to be 66, because we're going to rip 10 more. I shouldn't. I know I shouldn't. There's 1 clue burnt. There's 2 clues burned. What a waste. There's 6 clues burned. Oh dear. 7. Jesus Christ. There's a bit of essence, don't mind that. There's 8 clues burned. That's 12 clues burned. That's 13 clues burned. A little bit of essence. And then golden spin. You bastard. Yeah, that probably wasn't worth it. Right. I already struggle so much to decide if I want to even risk playing Kane the first week, since they play Friday and I won't know if my other 4 guys will be starting. Yeah, that's interesting. That is super interesting. I saw what hard it is to hit top level in colour with all good cards. Last level was hard to achieve. I don't think it was that hard to hit top level in colours. I think people achieved it people that were savvy were hitting those top points very, very often. Very often. When are you planning to rip them? After SPFL, League of Portugal, Eredivisie, Pro League, Croatian, Austrian, Bundes 2, French 2, and English Championship rewards are in the prize pools. That's when I'll start ripping them. And the idea, top scoring set was 480 as well, not 460. Yeah, so it's even a bit easier. And then the idea is to spin, basically hit a craft, use some clues, basically craft until I've used some clues, and then spin again to build the clues back up. Craft again until I've used some clues, spin again to build the clues back up. And then eventually the wheel spins will run out. I made my Sorare account 5 years ago, however, not touched it since. Is it games teaser seeds for me to create a new account with your link for the welcome bonus if I delete my old account that never had a welcome bonus? I can't tell you what to do. I'm not going to advise you either way. I can't say. I can't say. Okay. I'm not going to be the person that has your account put in jeopardy. When is Sorare 27 cards coming to the draws? So for each particular league, they will be put into the prize pool after the game week closes for the first week of that league. So this weekend, we've got SPFL, Austrian Bundesliga, and Croatian League. So on Tuesday at 3 p.m, I believe, when the game week closes, that is when I think the cards are going in. It might be a little bit later in that day, but it'll be Tuesday, basically. And then the following Tuesday for, I think, Eredivisie, Liga Portugal, and Pro League, and then maybe even the same for, like, the England too. So, right, he's done. Will you keep XP for the rares you're going to bring in? Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of XP, a whole bunch of rare XP. We're up to 23,000, so we got a fair bit to kind of assign when we can. That person, you may have forgotten your login details, or maybe you definitely forgot your login details and needed the new account. Don't tell him to. Don't advise him things like that. I spent about £150 on colours and was 3 points short from Messi when they came back versus Egypt. If that goes to extra time, I went on 150 quid spend, so I think it's achievable. Was that for the last, for the £1,000 level? Yeah, that's banging. Well, not banging because you missed it, but... See, for the Portuguese league, I think I'm, other than a couple of cards from some of the big teams, I think I'm done. Because the cards that I haven't got, I just can't get. Well, I've finally gone to the market with my heart rather than my head and bid on the Blackburn number ones. Do you know what, Julie? Of all of the cards you've bought over the years, those super rares and rares, those MLS players and all sorts, these would be the ones that you enjoy the most. You just got, sometimes you just got to go for it. Don't want to pay that for him. Ferro is a good scorer, isn't he, Ferro? None of him on the market. Don't want to buy him. Abubakar. Put one bid down on him. I'm thinking of doing something similar to this, but for only La Liga and only to a point where the smaller teams have 5% collection bonus. Yeah, I do think that's smart. I do think that's smart. Well, I think that's a good strategy, is what I'll say. So Trubin I don't have yet. Sounds like you're planning on getting Arsenal number ones. No, I won't. I will buy the Arsenal rares, but like in my own time. I mean, I'm going to be so... I'm going to be so stressed trying to make this work with these limiteds that the last thing I need on my plate is trying to figure out what Arsenal rare lineups I need to be running as well on in-season. I just don't need it in my life. So I don't even know if I'll buy the Arsenal rares until like way later in the season. What's up, Pokes? How you doing, man? Alan on that 3-stream streak. Let's go, baby. So when you complete the collection challenges, what are you going to do with a duplicate of the higher cards from those rewards? Yeah, just sell them. They'll just immediately be sold. Wait on him. God, how much did he go for? Wait, I put a £50 bid on for Pavlidis. How did I not get him? And it all begins tomorrow. I'm so excited, guys. Like today we can start kind of like lineup building today. Let me just have a little run through of putting bids down and trying to build these collections up that little bit more. And then it's, oh, we can build some lineups, baby. Big up, been watching you since Ruin Around. Hell yeah, Nelson. That's a long time, man. You must be older than me. Any idea when the collection missions become claimable? Likely when the cards are in the reward pools. tonight. Also, some more EuroLeague. What games are on this evening? See, I'm not interested in picking up Kivior yet. I just think him and Bednarek, I think, are way too expensive. So I'll use their classic in the meantime and in between time. 30 bro was part of the childhood. Let's go. Thinking of doing this, but with rare and JPL only due to relatively low prices and high rewards talked me out of it. No, I'm not going to. The reason why I wouldn't do it with rare, I will talk you out of it actually, because I just think rare is inefficient. And so if the prices are relatively low, then why not do it at limited? And if/when you get to the top streaks, buy a rare in season for captain bonus and pull in 40% and then sell them afterwards and really like minimize your risk whilst maximizing your reward. Oops, I didn't want to click on that again. Thank God somebody else has bid out there. Too much for Hwang The new championship badges suck. It is the championship. This is the championship. Wonder what profit loss will be on those rares if we sell the game week after, as I'm sure somebody else will be wanting to buy who's also in the spot. And that's what I mean, man. Like, it could be really fun to move in and out of the smash, like the in-season smashers, because you probably will have to pay a premium. You know, you might have to buy Bruno Fernandes for like 700 quid or something, but you'll be able to sell him on again for 700 quid or something, right? I'm not saying it'll be 700 necessarily, but do you know what I mean? Like whatever you want to buy, it'll be expensive. But then you'll just be able to sell it again for the same price. And if you missed on the reward, that's calm. There's still no harm, no foul. You would have missed anyway. You're not missing out on anything. And if you hit the reward and get that 40% bonus, boom, loving it. And then you sell the player on. Maybe you even make a little profit off the player as well. It's just, ooh. So I've gone out of my way, guys, to not buy sporting goalkeepers. Is that right? Because it's unsure whether Rui Silva is going to be Sporting's number one. I was going to ask that. Would you be looking at cheaper defenders to get the boosts or the stars in order to captain them for 40%? Yeah, star for the 40%, 100%. Have you bought any players for cheap and they've performed better than you expected them to, Nep? Well, the season hasn't started yet. So at this moment in time, everyone is performing like exactly as expected. Gonçalo Ignacio. I would wait with Trubin as well. Lots of rumours. Yeah, I did see some Trubin rumours. I think I have got a bid out on Trubin, though, to be fair. No, Rui Silva should start. Oh, is that right? I don't want him at that price, though. We'll wait for the next run. Rui Silva will be 100% number one here. Sporting fan here, even promoted to the captain list. Rui Silva could lead. Right, brilliant. Issa Doumbia. He's too expensive already. Pedro Gonçalves, we obviously don't want. Raújo. You already got Virginia. He played every friendly so far. Oh, did he? Why is that? What's up, Lindstrom? How you doing, man? Real Madrid expected to bid for Rodri. Rui Silva was in the World Cup. He didn't play, but he was there. Yeah, so that's why the other goalkeeper's playing. Fair enough. We'll wait on him. His price should hopefully come down. Wait on him. Guillermo. He's already way above. Just returned this week for Rui Silva. Rafael Nel. Too much there. Right. That's Portuguese League. Had a little gander at. A few little bids out on there. I do think understanding the environment of each league could be useful. For example, due to the nature of the scoring, you're more likely to hit a podium in the Belgium League versus La Liga. Would this come into your thinking on lineup hierarchy? No. No, it was not. Surprised Howe left Newcastle. It was a shocker, wasn't it? Right, what else did I work? Have I worked on? Eredivisie, no. Pro League, yes. We've done a fair bit of these Pro League teams. Got a fair bit to go, though. So many Pro League teams, man. So many Pro League teams. Have I started Eredivisie yet? No. I've got like 3 players from the Eredivisie so far. Am I bothering with Bundes 2 this season? I'm unsure, because I know Bundes 2 has got like good scorers and good scoring, but I already have full Croatia and full Austria, and I just don't know how much I can get out of having even more contender players. Unless the start times for the games are so brilliantly split that I can literally rinse streaks from it. Playing VPG Summer? I probably won't be, no. What league have you found to be the best value prices for now? Croatia. I think Croatian league was really, really, really well priced. Bundes 2 is 11 a.m. kickoffs. Yeah, so that is pretty good, isn't it? Other than the occasional FC and Sorare / MFL, are there any other games you're playing? Oh yeah, I've been playing Division 2 loads. Not this last week since Sorare's kind of back into the mix, but that Team B is just wrong. He will start tomorrow. Wait, who? Will Dan Neil Sunderland card count for first 4 Rangers games as in season? If it's Sorare 27 Sunderland card, yeah, it will. J-League was even cheaper, apart from 1 to 2 outliers from a rare standpoint. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like from a purely like purchase cost perspective, if J-League is really good and you wanted to like try this, if J-League is good value and you wanted to tempt this, why not? I just have no connection to like J-League or K-League players, and so I just wouldn't be able to do it because I just wouldn't care. Showing why Dan Neil is in season as well. It's his 26 card, but his new mint isn't out until the 4th game for Rangers. Why isn't his new mint out until the 4th game for Rangers? But he will no longer be in season when Sunderland play their first game, I believe, or when Sunderland cards are first minted, something like that. So I have an Anderlecht striker that says he's in season, even though it's his card from last season, but there are mints for his new card. Is it in season eligibility going to disappear? Yeah, I don't know them off the top of my head, but there are rules for how the in season eligibility works. So if you just Google it, like I'm sure I'm sure somebody just knows it anyway. But yeah, there are specific rules tied to how the in season eligibility works. I believe it's 11 days ahead of the new mint when the in-season drop is out. Is that it? There you go. They only play weekend league, get 10 to 11 wins and don't play the game until next champs. Do you think EA could do more to bring casuals in? I don't think you're a casual if you play the weekend league every week, personally, my man. Casuals are the kind of people that play the game for an hour a week. My son is casual. You know, he'll turn it on, play 1 game of squad battles, turn it off, and not play again for 4 days. That's casual. Can I use my 100k Summer Essence on European packs when they come out? Yes. Yes, you can. I've got 330k Essence saved up just for that. New USG keeper just signed from the J-League, Keisuke Osaka. Whether he is number 1 will all depend on if Coffee joins too. Talking to that, supposedly EA have changed rules. Yes, I saw some tweets about that today. I guess we're going to get the When is the Ultimate Team stuff? The 2nd of August, is it? The Ultimate Team like deep dive is coming soon, isn't it? I'm excited to see it. Obviously, I'm cautious when it comes to EA now because we've been burnt too many times. Is it £5? Not doing that. Fair, I consider myself a casual for not playing in the week, but your interpretation makes more sense. Yeah, I think there's like more hierarchies, or sort of not hierarchies, more kind of like bands than just hardcore or casual. I think you do have like for you, if you're able to get 10 or 11 wins and you're playing weekend league every weekend, I don't think you're a hardcore player. A hardcore is somebody that would complete every objective, do every, champs, rivals, squad battles, etc. Do every SBC, do every like every mission, every kind of milestone. That would be like an ultra hardcore. I would probably put you in like a tier below hardcore, but quite far above casual. Good old Christian Brawls. Used to have a super rare of him. If you buy the rares for the high streaks, you aren't decreasing your chance to hit it by a lot. So the rare card will have 5 to 10% less. Oh, aren't you decreasing your chance to hit it by a lot? Well, yes and no. It depends on, I suppose, what your expectations are of the rest of the team and what your kind of appetite for risk is. If I'd said to you, if I said to you at just a purely limited level, if you built your team all limiteds and I said to you, hey, I will give you a 40% bonus on your rewards if you choose a player to take a 5% hit on points on, would you say yes? Really intrigued to see the championship prices. Does a rare in your lineup give a bonus to your reward or to your overall score? To your reward, not to your score. But he will effectively be costly to your score because, again, let's use Bruno Fernandes. Let's say you've got Bruno Fernandes in-season limited with 5% XP, 5% in-season bonus, 5% collection bonus. So you've got 15% bonus on him. And then let's say you're like, okay, let me use the rare Bruno Fernandes because I'll get 40% bonus rewards. Well, you'll have 5% in-season bonus. You might have 1% collection bonus and maybe 2, 3, or 4% in-season, XP bonus. So you're going to be taking a 5 to 8% loss on points. If he scores 100, you're only going to get 108 instead of 116. And that's at the top level. So like, you're probably looking at a maximum loss of about 7 points by doing this if your player hits 100. So you've got to kind of ask yourself, is it worth the 40% uptick in rewards for a maximum loss of 7 points? And if you end up 7 points short or less, if you end up 7, 5, or 3 points short, and it was because you made that switch and you didn't get the XP boost, you would probably be living with yourself only if it is your last life. If it is not your last life and you still have more opportunities, then I don't think you'll be too stressed. Bidding your Lemoyne up? You mean my Lemoyne? Net Portsmouth got 35 cards. My wallet is in trouble. It's mad. Hello, mate. Has it? You can play it then. How do we get to it? Let me show you. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Sorry. I'm very sorry. Very sorry. Going with rares instead of limiteds could be vital at the lower levels to accrue more essence. Say, for example, you have a strong team against a weaker team. Maybe worth chucking a couple low tier. I just don't think so. I just don't think it'll be worth it. Like, I'm happy to be proven wrong, of course. I just don't see a world where having rare in seasons... Mohamed Salah, let's go. I don't see a world where having rare in seasons for streaks are worth it until you're at the final streaks. Worked out yesterday. I won £200 from limited in the first 8 game weeks, then switched to rare and won £180 over the next 30 game weeks. That's insane, isn't it? I wonder what my, like, as I say, like, I know my own return on investment at limited level was very good last season. I succeeded a lot at limited. The joys of school holidays. Yeah, they're just in the kitchen and they're playing. It's loaded. All right, I've got to go and sort them out for Plants vs Zombies. Hold on. I'm coming. Right. The rare classic rares also increase your rewards. Yes, so it's 5% reward boost for a classic rare, or 15% if you make them your captain. But of course, you are only eligible to field one classic rare in a lineup. So the ultimate, I think the best strategy, in my opinion, for taking advantage of rewards at the top level, we'll be having one in-season rare who is your captain and one classic rare just in the lineup. And then if you make both of them just smashers, you've got two insane players in a lineup that you'd want anyway, and you're picking up a 45% boost on your rewards. Is that how it works for streaks? Yes. Who's that guy? Pilektilek. Ivecivac. Yeah, it's why I sold my whole gallery to egg swap yesterday to essentially do what you're doing there, but only the prem. Sold them, produced my investment, cost a fair chunk. Yeah, fair enough, pal. Fair enough. I would do well to offload some cards. I've probably got tens of thousands of pounds worth of cards that just sit there doing nothing. And like, you know, instead of depositing, I could sell them and carry on with this strategy, but it wouldn't be so rare if I did that, would it? Why England too don't have official club badges? Because they don't have the licensing with the championship. They have the player licensing with FIFA Pro. Especially the first weeks, the lower streaks, it'll be much more rewarding to play your rares on leaderboards as there are not that many lineups yet, and it will be quite easy to pick up rare essence. Yeah, that's something to consider. Like I said, like even for the SPFL so far. Now, I know tomorrow is probably going to be the time where it starts to like rack up, but there is only 436 entrants in right now, which means if you even put any team in, and so long as your player gets, any player gets even a minute on the field, you are guaranteed 500 essence at this moment in time. Can't remember if I went backwards or forwards on this one. So if I heard that right, we get one in-season rare and one out-of-season rare in streaks that give out boosts. No, that's not what I said. Let's say you have 5 limited cards, right? You get 1,000 essence at the first streak. For every rare in-season card that you have in your lineup, you will get a 15% bonus on your rewards. So if you have 2 rare in-seasons, you will get 30% bonus on your rewards. So instead of 1,000 essence, you will get 1,300 essence. If you captain a rare card, you will get a further 25% bonus on your rewards. So that would take you up to, what, 55% for 2 in-seasons. And then a third in-season will take you up to 70%, and then up to 85%, and then up to 100% bonus. So you'll end up with 2,000 essence. A classic rare card will give you 5% bonus on your rewards, but if you captain it, it will give a further 10% bonus on top, so up to a 15% bonus. So in terms of efficiency of strategy, having 3 in-season limiteds, 1 in-season rare, who is your captain, and 1 classic rare, who is just a smasher, will give you 45% bonus on your rewards, whilst only having needed to buy and utilize and use 1 in-season rare card. Van Broderodder. Damn, he's going up already. Yeah, that's all good, Jack. It is confusing. It is confusing. I bought 4 rare in season low tier team for Portugal League just to try and craft high players. Just 1 team, because obviously at that point you're going to only be able to do 1 streak per week with them. Oh, not 99. Thank you very much. What's up, Connor? How you doing, man? Is anytime entry for all modes? Only for Pro, Set, and Arena. Yeah, that's right. Arena. I did not stutter. Well, I have 12 players and 1 classic in-season goalkeeper. Yeah, but my point is, like, if they're all from the same team, you can only enter them once per week because that team will only play one game per week. What's Arena Arena? Arena Arena is here, where you go to Arena Classic, and then you go to the Arena, or, well, Capped 260, they call it, the format Arena in the game mode Arena. Honestly, above all else, they should abso-bloody-lutely change the names back. If they want to call set arcade, that's fine. People didn't call it set and in the first place. They called it sets or free to play or colors or the World Cup mode, right? If they want to call that arcade, cool, right? Cool. Let's call it arcade. I'm on board with that. But can we just call streaks streaks or hot streaks, you know, or cold streaks if you want? But can we call streaks streaks? Can we call leaderboards leaderboards? And can we call the arena the arena? There's just no reason to call these things other things that don't make sense, because it is genuinely, by the way, really difficult to explain to somebody what the arena is, because the arena isn't one thing. It is loads of things. The arena is cap modes. The arena is under 23. It's all-star. It's so rare 26 modes that are still left. It's classic competitions. It's in-season modes, including the in-season versions of SPFL and MLS and K-League from So Rare 26. It's just too much. They've got the naming wrong, and they should fix it. I can't remember which way I was going again. You miss Rivals so much. Yeah, Rivals was good, wasn't it? All right, that's those done. Damn, a goalkeeper with 2 100s. What's up, boy? Oh, he's a defender, never mind. To be fair, the UI for me keeps getting worse and worse. I think the UI is okay. It needs some work. It needs some work. You need, like, they need to make it more sandboxy, right? Where you can just pin things. Like, there's, especially on web app, there's so much space I have down here. Just let me pin my favorite, like, tournaments and modes or whatever's. Let me pin my collections here so that I can click between them real quick, you know? Like, it's a bit of a pain. It's a bit of a pain having to click so many different areas just to get to where you want to go to. Yeah, a bit like MFL. MFL's tiling system is very good for that. I don't understand how they thought it was a good idea to name it like that. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine and anybody else's. There's like a hair sticking out of my mouse mat and it keeps tickling my finger. It's really annoying me. It's one of the things So Rare is missing, proper social gaming like we used to get with Rivals. Yeah, the social elements of So Rare is really poor. And I was saying this to Laird and Harry when I was on the podcast with Laird. MFL do a great job of enabling you to make social posts. In fact, just today, I made a social post with Ken Nelson. This is his golden boot. Ken Nelson, Evo FC Pack to Glory, 59 rated striker, season 15. There's his golden boot that's not even gold. It just looks like a regular trainer, to be fair. Average rating of 8.3, shots on target 17, goals 14. This was generated by them. I just clicked download and this was there. If I have a mad good week, if I go and hit like this streak here with my lineup, I have to screenshot it and hope that it's like you know, it's not formatted good for portrait or landscape. And I think it's a sort of thing that would be really easy for So Rare to just give you a little click button that's like, yep, boom, there you go. Here's what you won. Here's a team, best, like whatever information they want to put on there. And it is genuinely quite surprising that they don't do that, because the social side of things is what helps drive games like this. Somebody's already bid on him. Sorare need to do more with the co-op missions too. They're so engaging and so fun. Yeah, co-op missions were great fun. I did enjoy those. He's already high. He's already too high. I swear, back in the day, there was a share button that showed the lineup scores on the nice splash screen. I don't recall that. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I don't recall it. Even Assassin's Creed has an in-game photo system where you can see other players' photos. Yeah, that's pretty fun. Van der Heuvel. How much would you say it costs to start an MFL team? Is it tied to ETH? It's not tied to ETH, no. And the cost price is like $55 if you wanted to buy an already kind of used team that you take over. Or it will cost you $80 if you want to buy a brand new team and have all of the history be your own. Then, of course, if you ! MFL and use that link, you'll get some bonuses, whatever the welcome bonus is, for using the link as well. Ba ba ba. Ba ba ba. Ra ba 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 ba. Ra ba ba ba. Is Oscar Gil Carlos's Gil's brother? Anyone called Gil? Are they just all the brothers? The Gil brothers. La da 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 da. I cut my knuckle somehow. It's really annoying. Blah, 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 blah. Pew, pew. Being able to message other users in game would be a massive improvement for the ability to add a comment when sending offers. To maybe say, like, this is my last offer. Yeah, functionality like that. I kind of get why they don't do it, because it just opens them up for like toxicity, basically, whether that be people just writing abusive messages, homophobic, racial, you know, like whatever the case may be, like any kind of like anti-Semitic messages or whatever. But also it opens up the opportunity for scammers to take advantage of people by using messaging. So I prefer it the way it is. I just wish that maybe they had a few more options, that like default responses that you could use that were more useful for what a manager actually needs. Are you going to do a daily match calendar so you know which leagues kick off first, etc.? The Sorare matches tab isn't great for having it in order. So what I'll do once the seasons kick off is we'll just go on to SofaScore and we'll start favoriting all of the leagues that we're going to be playing, and then turn notifications on for them. And so SofaScore will just ping my phone whenever a lineup's out, and that'll be that. Sherpin. So who's going to be the goalkeeper now for Union Saint-Gilloise? Is it going to be Chambert? How much did I pay for him? Yeah, probably is going to be him. Paid £18 for him. Coffee or Osako? Oh, so these are the guys that have got a new goalkeeper, is it? Yeah. Why are you buying every card? Will it be worth it? Well, I will only know if it will be worth it or not if it transpires it is worth it or not. But the fundamental principle is that it will be worth it. But we'll have to obviously wait and see. The test of time will tell us whether or not it was a success or not. This week has flown by, but now until tomorrow, when those first games kick off, I don't even know. You know, it's going to feel like it's going to take an absolute age. Why has Orgain flown up? Head out, sold my rare MLS stack. So I got £400 to spend on Sorare 27. I already bought the whole Dundee United limited collection. Any suggestions on what I should do? I suppose my question would be, why did you buy the whole Dundee United limited collection? The auction has just ended. Alagi. Will you be live during matches? For as many as I can be. I won't be live most likely tomorrow, My wife is away, so I'll be looking after the kids. Saturday's matches I will be. Yes, I can see Saturday being a day where we're just streaming all day, because don't we actually have I don't even know how to like hear favorites. Let me get rid of, how do I unfavorite things? Teams, competitions, League One, Pro League, Premier League, MLS, UEFA Champions League. Let's add. Why won't it let me add anything? What's the comp that we're about to be looking at? Let's go down here. So I want Austrian Bundesliga. I want NHL. And I want SPFL to start with. Scotland. And then if we look at events, so we've got tomorrow, 6:30 Lask against GAC. 7 o'clock. We've got Dynamo against Slaven. They're both obviously in the same league. So what I'll probably do is maybe trust in my Lask guys or trust in my Dynamo guys, and then put the other guys in the in-season comp. Hope you and the family enjoying the holidays. Subs in Arena. Can I put in a cheap in-season card in the starting lineup that will not play and have a good classic card as a sub? So 2 classic cards in lineup. I don't think so, no. I think you still have to maintain the rules of lineup building. Oh, that's cool. Mad Koala's pal. My reasoning was I originally had £200, but now have an extra 400 due to selling the MLS cards, and thought of my best bet would be to get into a non-big league and choose Dundee, as I could get the whole collection bonuses, etc. And I think Dundee could have some big scores this year. Okay, Fez. So if your plan is to play streaks, I would probably go and pick up a few more SPFL teams, or just players in general. You know, go and get yourself a handful of goalkeepers, maybe double that of defenders, midfielders, and attackers. If you're planning on playing leaderboards, I'd definitely go and start trying to isolate and pick up some of the star scorers. They're not in the same league, bro. They're not in the same league, that's correct, but they are in the same competition on Sorare. So yeah, so we've got Falkirk St Mirren, 3 o'clock. Wait, I thought there was a 1:30 game or a 1 o'clock game. Never mind. And then Tiro against Sturm Graz. Istra against Lokomotiva. Now, this is a frustrating one because it's an hour and a half between kickoffs. So again, it's like, do I put my Lokomotiva / Istra players, do I put Sturm into in-season, into the leaderboards, and then use these guys otherwise? And then we've also got Aberdeen Hearts at 5:30, Salzburg against Hartberg, and then Gorissa against Osijek. When you want to put the underdogs in leaderboard and then the stronger team in streaks, so the other way around. So for the first few streak levels, probably the other way around, so that if your big dogs hit big, you're not wasting points at the low tier, and instead you're kicking off in the leaderboard, getting big rewards. Obviously, there's an inherent risk with that your weaker team doesn't hit the required points target and you lose a life. But I think that's probably still the best trade-off in these early stages. When did the Insta-wise start to get introduced? Looking at Championship. Usually like 2 or 3 days after 2 or 3 days after mint for that. When the full season starts, you'll have 200 plus lineups. It's going to be crazy. It is going to be crazy. What I'm going to be really, really, really interested to see is just my essence and cash balance increasing as a weekend goes on, because it's anytime entry, and I really think people are like wildly misunderstanding or misappreciating how cool it's going to be for a result to come in, for you to claim your reward and then just go and build another lineup again immediately. And you know, off the back of that, with how many teams I'm going to be putting in these leaderboards and into the streak boards, surely my essence and cash just starts, and that's just going to be great fun. Yeah, Sturmgratz having that potential being rotated makes them a much better choice to save for streaks, doesn't it? That is a smart observation. That is. Is that not crazy OP? I'm hoping. As I said, I wonder. Like I'm really. I know I'm the person that's doing this, right? But I'm really interested to see if this breaks the game. Because if it does, if I'm able to just yield way more than Sorare ever anticipated somebody could, it's just going to be so good. It's going to be so good. Where do we get rewards from? We get rewards from Essence. We get rewards from Streaks, Arena, the Arena. We get the collection mission rewards. We get the wheel spin rewards. We're just eating. And Sorare going to be sitting there going, oh no, he's figured it out. And I'm going to be sitting here going, oh yes, I have figured it out. I see a world, right? Call me crazy, but I see a world where after the first 4 game weeks are done, I've already made all my money back. Call me crazy, man. But I just reckon I can. I reckon I could be sitting here in a situation where I'm like, damn, guys, I hit that top streak. Like, again, I know I'm daydreaming, right? I know I'm daydreaming. But imagine we managed to hit this Premier League top streak here. No, not that one. This one. The $6,000 with a classic and in-season rare smasher that gives us a 45% return on, like, boost on rewards, which would be just under 3,000. We just pick up $9,000 from that. Like that's a third of the outs. Like if I could do that one time in one of the big leagues, it's a third of the investment paid back immediately. If I can do it one time in one of the smaller leagues, it will be another like quarter of the investment paid back immediately. So I'm excited for it. I'm genuinely excited to see if my, I suppose, arrogance succeeds. I can never keep remembering how far I got on these. Oh, we just did him, didn't we? 9 plus 1.5k from the below streaks. Yeah, precisely. So there'll be even more from those streaks like coming up as well. Gherkins. Don't forget the currency conversion. Yeah, of course. Even more, right, with how much essence I will be making, because it's going to be nearly impossible. Like, I would have to try hard to ruin the essence growth. No, babe.
I've googled it, and Tristan can join.
Okay.
But he needs to have his own account on the same console, or a guest account.
Yeah, well, guest accounts are there. Just press the Xbox button and it will say guest account.
I couldn't see it. I did try, and then Ryan was getting frustrated with me trying.
Okay.
Too long. You can carry on.
Well, you come in and Ba-da-ba. The fact those, I think steps 1 to 2 of Essence, and what may bring you in cash depending on the luck on crafts, and 3 to 4 with low amounts are wildly disregarded when calculating your return. You might get there much quicker than you think. Yeah, no, and I actually do agree with you. Like, there is a lot of opportunity to yield through those lower tiers consistently, especially, and this is where my own mind isn't like even kind of fully tuned in with it, because especially if you can hit the streak 1, 2, 3 or 4 times in a weekend, do you know what I mean? Or maybe not 3 or 4 times, because obviously there's not that many game windows, but there will be that opportunity to hit several thousand essence and a couple of dollars, maybe crash and burn and go and do it again. Oh, is that your next message, is it? Oh, plus the fact that you might be able to get those rewards several times within the first 4 weeks, even if you don't get to the top with any time entry, maybe 2 to 3 per match. Yeah, and that's where like the essence could end up being huge, because if I craft like an Mbappe or a Vinny or a Bruno Fernandes or like a Haaland or something, it's going to be a massive return. Nep, I think you're looking at 50 to 100k essence every weekend. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree, yeah. Especially whilst the boosts are there. Maybe not after that. Well, depending on how well I do, I suppose, with the arena, you know. With my Shakira. But it's like, it is going to be really, really fun, I think, to see. Like, once I've spent all I have to spend, whatever that ends up being, 30k, 35k, whatever it is, just everything after that is just in. And it's going to be fun to see and monitor and track how quickly we run it up. Is the essence from streaks all-star or competition specific? I would assume that they are competition specific. How I manage my essence is going to be really interesting. I'm going to want to use... I'm going to want to take advantage of league-specific essence as much as I can. Will Berhalter MLS card be in season for the entire champ season? Until, like, February, when the MLS is back again, yeah. Ibrahima Diakite. Buying any rare this year? I will buy Arsenal rares eventually. But I won't be in any rush. I don't know that I'll buy Arsenal rares. I might not. I might just be very, very, very content with this limited strategy that we're trying, and just trying to make the most out of it. You know, it's not like I won't have Arsenal cards, not like I won't have Arsenal rares to play with in Classic and Super Rare Classic. Like, I'm going to have plenty of Arsenal to have fun with. And if we get Bruno Guimaraes, I've got a limited version of him. I've got rare version and limited version of Zolis. I've got rare and limited versions of Vinicius Jr. should we pick him up. So even the transfer cards that we might get, I've got them. I wouldn't be tempted. I'd stick to your plan. Yeah, the only reason why I kind of want to buy Arsenal players is because I've got every rare collection so far, and I just kind of want to keep collecting them. Like, not necessarily anything to do with return on investment or anything, but literally just to have them because I want them. But we'll see. We'll see. What I would love to achieve, well, like, as I said, I was literally dreaming about this last night. I would love to have, like, you know, hit 6 figures returned. Imagine I spend 35k, and then by the end of the year, end of the like cycle, I've got 100 grand in cash. First of all, what a great return. Second of all, I can then do the same thing again the next season. I do think though, and somebody mentioned this in stream earlier, if this is successful, or if it even appears that it's going to be successful, like if in the first couple of game weeks I've, you know, again, I want to put a number on what I'm going to spend, and let's just say 35,000, because I think it's going to get up towards that. I'm hoping it'll be a bit less, but let's say 35,000. If after the first 2 game weeks, I've already like racked up $5,000 back. People are going to be like, oh my days. Bold of you to assume Sorare 28 will be even remotely similar. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. If I had your income / budget, I'd most likely do the same. But I do think this is viable. And again, I'm not saying to do it. I'm not saying to do it because it might fail. But I do think it's viable to do it on a smaller scale at a cheaper price. Doing it with one league only and not buying the cards off the auction house and foregoing the spins and the collection missions, I think you can do it in one particular league for a really good price point and give yourself the whole league's value to do it. Yeah, one low league, I think, is a really, like, if you had the budget to do it and you wanted a strategy to do, I would do it. I'm not going to tell anyone to do it. I would do it. If my budget was only big enough that I could just do this for the SPFL, I would do it still for the SPFL. I intended to do something similar in due course with the top teams for most contender leagues or championship. With the top team, yeah, that's pretty fun. Yeah, only put in what you can afford to lose. 100%. Mortgage companies are why here today. I need to buy 40,000. I need 40k to buy 6,000 digital rare cards, please. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. The whole mortgage system is backwards and broken anyway. They just rob everyone. It is funny, actually. I've thought about this so many times, and it's never anything I really want to talk too deeply about because I'm not entirely focused on it and I haven't 100% researched everything I'd ever want to say on it. But somebody would say about spending £100 on Sorare, and people would lose their mind. Oh my God, dude, you're so financially, like, you know, you're so financially inept, or you're just throwing money away. Then somebody will say, yeah, I've got a mortgage, and they're like, oh, congratulations, man, well done. Do you know how much they rob you when you have a mortgage? If you've got like $100,000 mortgage, you end up paying about 300,000 back to the bank over the course of the term of the mortgage. Do you know how crazy that is? If you had £2,000, what leagues are you doing? If I had 2,000, I would do Eredivisie, Belgian League, and Portuguese League, because they have some of the best matchup splits and the best boards outside of the big leagues. You pay more in interest than the actual property is pure fair. Yeah, it is. It's mad. But people are like, congratulations on your mortgage. Well done. You've made it. I haven't, though, have I? I'm getting robbed blind. But you spend 100 quid on Sorare. They're like, you're such an idiot. What are you doing? Just pissing money away. Like, anyway, as I say, I don't want to get into it because otherwise I just end up going off on a tangent and I'll say something and ex-professional footballers will start getting angry at me on X again. So do you think 2,000 is enough for them 3 leagues? If you apply the mini strategy, and what I mean by that is you don't need to buy every single player. You just need to buy the players that you expect to start or be the rotation players. You also don't need to buy them from the primary market. You can get them from the secondary market much cheaper and just work on your 5% collection. I think is reasonable to expect you to be able to get 2 like that. Yeah, maybe not the full league as well. Maybe ignore like some of the teams. Maybe ignore like, you know, the bottom sort of like 30-40%. Like, I still think it would be really good and really good fun to apply the strategy in that regard as well. Van Crombrugge. I remember when Van Crombrugge was a young whippersnapper breaking into the scene. Could also ignore 4 or 5 players from each team who won't play. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I would only kind of pick up the players that you think are the starters and the rotation players. I wouldn't be picking up the players that you just didn't expect to start. Championship would be great due to number of games. Yeah, it would be. I think there's some really good pros and cons around things like the Championship and then things like La Liga. So I've seen a lot of people say about how La Liga is going to be so great because you get so many different game times. I think that could be as much of a curse as it is a gift, because then you're putting a lot of pressure on succeeding. Oh, I literally didn't even want to bid on that. On succeeding with one match, right? If that match fails, you've lost a life, you go to the next match. If that match fails, you've lost a life, you go to the next match. Whereas the gift and the curse with something like the championship is you get a lot of games at the same time, which gives you a lot of luxury in your selection for your streak. But you'll pass up the levels a lot slower because you're only looking at like 3 kind of slots per week. Congolo. Maybe 2002 leagues in, hopefully with rewards to build into the third. Yeah, it's good. Although and again, I'm not going to tell anyone what to do with their own money or whatever. If I had £2,000 and I built into 2 leagues, I bought into 2 leagues, and I started earning enough where I could even consider, I can get into another league here, I would just save it, because I would save it for next year where I could do it on a bigger scale. Unless the league is like at such an affordable price that you're like, damn, I'm almost stupid not to. What would fail fast? The right advice early on. What's the question, Merton? Akpan. There will be at least 6 to 7 slots each week in a championship, except midweeks, obviously. Yeah, there will, yeah. Yeah, midweeks is only going to be 2. 1 on the Tuesday, 1 on the Wednesday, and that's it. Although there are 2 different game times, there's just not 2 different slot times. Bangura. Have you tried NBA Sorare? No, I haven't. No. I did when it very, very, very first came out several years ago, but not since. Is it good? I know I had one user that used to message me a lot, and he made absolute bank off of NBA, off of doing the hot step, the quick step thing, the one where it's like you pick a player, like he would rinse that. Any appetite to play super rare / unique? No, not a chance. Caresta off to Dortmund. Is he? That's cool. Unless there's something that I know for an absolute fact, or that is incredibly likely and to be detrimental. For example, that guy that got bought by Nottingham Forest is getting farmed out to Greece, or Pedro Gonçalves, who's going to Saudi or whatever. I won't buy those players. But if a player is just going to get a transfer, I'm happy to hedge my bets, even if I'm paying the current price for what they're worth now, for 2 reasons. Number one, if they go to that club and smash, like if he goes to Dortmund and just absolutely kicks off, I've got a bargain in the Bundesliga. But even if he does or doesn't kick off, completely irrelevant to him, it's very likely at that point then that I have got somebody in the team that is going to take his spot and take some extra minutes that I got for dirt cheap because they weren't expected to play. What's up, Mords Pal? You're eating knickknacks, mate. Knickknacks. Some of them have got some nice flavours of knickknacks. Some of them not so much. Are J-League auctions working yet? I don't know. I won't be going into the J-League. Rib and saucy. Damn, that does sound nice. Elite. Are you saving all your essence for the free mode for when the European packs come out? Yes, I am, yeah. Karamoko. Yeah, you would buy the Dortmund version anyway when that comes out, so might as well buy now. Yeah, precisely. And a Dortmund version, would it be more expensive? I don't know. Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. Any reason for not wanting to do the J-League? Mostly just because it's hard to get news. And I know anytime entry would kind of like excuse that, but I don't like the scoring in the J-League. I don't like the fact that, you'd end up putting in somebody who starts and then they'll get subbed out 13 minutes later because of under 21 or under 23 like rules and regulations. I don't like the fact that it's like not accessible for user information. And even though this year I know that they have moved the game times somewhat to be more European friendly, I just don't want to. Which is funny because they're probably the cheapest of the lot, aren't they? Don't want to pay for him at that price. Don't want to pay for him. It's only K-League with the U for all know. Oh, is it? Well, that shows how much I know about the J-League and why I really shouldn't be getting involved in it. I do think somebody said yesterday that this is going to end up costing like 13 to 15k just for the minor leagues. And I don't know if it's even going to be that cheap. I do think it's going to end up pushing more and more closer towards the 15k mark. Which means if we assigned a $5,000 budget for each of the major leagues, it will push up to about 35,000. Planning to play much set alongside this? Yeah, I'll play it. Like set takes like 2 minutes, doesn't it? I won't really play like this current set too much because there's no cash rewards at the top. Loic Mbissou. And that follow-up question to my £400 budget question earlier. How much did it take for you to buy all the SPFL stacks collections that aren't Rangers, Celtic and Hearts? I have no idea. I only know what it costs for the whole league. Taniguchi. Damage Fruity. Haven't played J-League for the biggest frustration was always a random unknown DMP. Anytime entry does have me tempted. Seen Osako, the San Francisco goalkeeper, moving to USG to be back up. Sucks. Oh, a lot of people like lost out on him, yeah. Poop. That guy's name is Poop. Hey, there's a lot more like 15, 20 pound players in like the Belgian league and the Portuguese league than there was in like the Croatian league and stuff. Like in the Croatian league, it was like the goalkeeper was obviously a little bit more spenny. And then maybe there's like one or two other players that are a little bit spenny and everyone else was like a few quid or less. But in a Belgian league, there just tends to be 4 or 5 guys per team that's like 20 plus, 20k plus. £12.80. Araki. Alaki. Do we know when the next set comes? Isn't it like 7th of September, I think? How much have you budgeted to spend on all cards? Like, whatever it costs. I'll just keep going until I've got them all. He expired. Yeah, ended. Same with Eredivisie. Few teams have a fair amount of 15 plus players. Oh, is that right? I'm gonna have to get some more funds signed off by the boss. Celtic prices got any better? I have no idea, mate. Well, once I bought a player, I'm not really interested in consistently going back to look what they are now and what I could have got them for or what I should have got them for. Like as long as I don't feel like I'm hitting into some huge overpay, and you can see here by the players I'm not bidding on. Like if I'm already bidding, if like the price of a player is already at the level where they've been bought at, and that's already higher than they've been bought at, then I'm just ignoring and I'll wait. Like I don't need every single player from every single team at the very start of the season. I just need enough players from enough teams to get going, so we can pick up the cards as we go. What's up, Quiddy Pout? Petro. Why have these guys got two goalkeepers only? This guy's called Hay. Do you think we will miss the scouting aspect of the game? I never enjoyed the scouting aspect of the game in the first place. The essence from this set cannot be used for the next set, right? That's correct, yeah. Bold claim from somebody who couldn't hit $100 on the Global Cup. Good luck, though. Oh, don't have to be a prick, do you? Ludwig. It's a fun name, isn't it? Jamalappen, thank you very much for the sub, brother. Nacho's burner account is, isn't it? Marco Kana. I've got quite a few of his cards for some reason. Hold on, I can hear my son crying. Let me go and see what's happening here. It's just one of those days. Typical me. Typical club scene. Typical beef. It's just one of those days. And now this headlock is putting me to sleep. £15 for Ambrose. God damn. What's your opinion on Super Rare? Thought you'd be all over that with your budget. Yeah, I think Super Rare and Unique is not a great place to play on So Rare. I think it's too heavily whale induced. I think you're chancing on having the luck of hitting one kind of banger lineup per season. No streaks, really annoying. DNP is going to be really annoying. Whereas I think at limiteds, I think it's really cool that I get to engage in the game at my leisure as often as I like, assuming that there's football on, of course. I like the fact that the entry point is a lot lower. I just think it's a lot more fun, mate. I just think limited is a lot more fun. And that, like, you know, of course, we all want to hit a return on our investment, right? We all want to hit a profit. Of course we do. Anybody would be lying if they were saying they were just playing for fun. But I also do play for fun. I think the fun of Sorare is one of the biggest things. One of the reasons why I still play Sorare, in spite of the losses over the years, is because I really enjoy the game. And when it comes to super rare and unique, it's not fun. It's a pressure cooker. It's a time bomb waiting to tick over into, oh, never mind, you fucked it. Sorry for swearing. I think I got a bit lower. NepentheZ is worth leveling some cards for the first week of leaderboards. Yeah. Yeah, I've already put a lot of XP onto a lot of cards. I'll do it again eventually. De Court. La Liga last year was great for streaks. I think Rodri at Real would be ideal. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really interested to see how streaks are going to go in, like, you know, La Liga this time around, where you can kind of, like, you know, last year you would kind of use Real Madrid and Barcelona to get yourself up the streaks, to then hope that you had a good matchup with Real Madrid or Barcelona on those final streaks to hit the big Ps. This time you can almost, if you plan it right, almost use the Atletico Madrids and the kind of Real Sociedads and stuff to get you up to those upper echelons every week, and then come on in with your Bayern, with your Barcelona and Real Madrid stacks every week to, like, finish it off and polish it off and take home the big prize. And of course, that's one of those moments where it's like a lot easier in theory than it is in practice. You know, fixture scheduling and where you are on the streak tier and stuff like that is obviously going to factor into that. But yeah, it's definitely it's going to be really interesting to see how much people yield off of these streaks, because I think it's going to be a lot. I think it's going to be a lot. I don't know how Sorare are going to provide, for example, enough essence for people in those earlier stages. Like, if imagine how many thousands and thousands and thousands of people are hitting streak 1 and 2 over and over and over. It is going to be millions of essence, which is going to be tens of thousands of cards. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. I have a feeling we will run out of special special cards. What I mean by special cards is like the Zolises, you know, those cards where you can just, it's blindly obvious who they are and where they're from. I have a feeling we'll run out of those so quick this year. Le Marshal. Ba-da-ba. How's the buying going? It's a long, painful, costly process, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Si say Sandra. Sometimes I'm like, damn, man, like, everyone's so cheap. And then I get to some of, like, the more important teams in the league, and I'm like, holy shit, it's going to cost me like £500 just for this team. Sorry for swearing. Isn't Trestoldi linked with a move away? I'll pop a 60 bid on him just to see where we go. See, Forbes is going to, like, excuse me. Forbes is the sort of player that I think, I've got classics of him, including rare. Would I be better picking him up in a week or two when he's at 40 quid instead of now? But then I think, what if he, like, pops off those first 2 game weeks? He's going up to over 100 quid. He's not going down at that point, because people are going to be like, oh my God, he is going to be an absolute necessity for my streaks. All-star essence. People use essence when they need clues. Yeah, but there's still going to be a lot of essence. All right, let's have a look. What time is it? Okay, so this would have updated this spreadsheet very recently. Updated it 7 minutes ago. So my total spend so far is £8,200. We've got Austria done, Croatia done, Scotland all but done. There's like just a few cards there to go. Portugal basically done, and Belgium is very close to being done. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 leagues for 8,000. That's not bad. It's going to be 40k. No, it won't go up there. It won't go up to 40. I mean, it might, but I think we're looking at probably. It is probably going to be about 15,000 to finish off these. Got to keep in mind, right? I've already done a lot of the expensive stuff. I don't think Germany 2 or France 2 is going to be too expensive. France 2 especially won't be. Eredivisie is going to obviously have a couple of teams that are quite expensive, but the rest of them I just don't think they will. And then the rest of them are done. So it's just English Championship that needs to be added into here as well. Stack Bayern probably worth Austria price. Yeah, probably at the start. And so the same as what Lamelo says. He says, I think the Premier League prices will surprise you. If they surprise me, I just won't get involved in them straight away. You know, I'll get involved. I'll buy some like lower tier teams. You know, Leeds, Coventry's, you know, whatever, Sunderland's and things like that. But I won't go in for the big guns straight away. I know you want to buy all limited cards, but is it worth buying all the contender teams? So that's one. So the contentious part of contender, and you know, even I'm looking at Austria, thinking that's not bad. £1,500 for all of Austria, and Croatia going that's not bad. £1,200 for all of Croatia, but actually so far it's £2,800 for half of contender, and that all of a sudden is like a lot less interesting and engaging. So there is, and that's why I kind of did this here. What time slots does Austria have compared to France 2, compared to Germany 2? Germany 2, I think somebody said, is 11 a.m. kickoffs, which is perfect. This is probably a stupid question, but are you using your own money? Yes, I am. If the time slots are good enough in these leagues, and again, I say this slightly tongue-in-cheek, but if the time slots are good enough in these leagues, well, English 2 there now, it's not impossible that I could hit the top streak like twice in a weekend. You know, if we get Bundesliga 11 a.m., then whatever, like a 1 p.m. Croatia game, then a 3 p.m. game, then a 5 p.m. game, then the next morning another 11 a.m. game, and then, you know, the 3 p.m. kickoffs, then go back down again and start again for that evening game. Like, if the average price stays at £5 for the championship, that is £3,300. Yeah, but this average price is per player across all of the leagues. So you've opted into choosing that average price rather than, let's say, the Croatian average price at £3.78. If the average price for championship is lower than that, it's going to end up being like £1,400. Obviously, the championship has a lot of teams, and I expect the average price will be massively reduced based on the fact that there will be an insane amount of £1.70 players, because there will just be no need for people to have them all. Bundes 2 has Friday night game as well. Yeah, that's cool. Championship will have a lot of £1.69 cards. Yeah, it will. Contender feels like a bit of a stretch if your S6 win is 750-ish with bonuses. Not really. Because obviously we're like, because of the fact as well that contender will have Austria, Croatia, Germany 2 and France 2, that'll be a lot of quality put into the leaderboards. Do you think the 2,000 where you said Eredivisie Portuguese League would be better spent on a large spread of all contender and try and target what you just mentioned? I can't answer that question. You have to make those sort of decisions for yourself. Bundes 2 has 3 time slots on Saturday, Friday night and Sunday. Yeah, and so if there's opportunities where they don't clash with Austria, Croatia and France 2, like France 2 has a lot of evening games, doesn't it? We'll be able to, like I say, really take advantage. Did I put Bundesliga 2 in here? Bundesliga 2, and then France Ligue 2, and then Eredivisie goes in. Wait, which one is it? That's futsal, volleyball. Oh, it's that one. The Pro League, already favorited. Championship. What else are we missing? Scotland, Portugal, Belgium. Did I do Belgium? I did Scotland. France is just 4 teams. Might as well add the teams instead. Yeah, France being only 4 teams is... France might even be worth just ignoring, right? It might be worth ignoring. Because we, like, you know, that'll probably end up being a good few £100 added for no real benefit, especially if they don't have collect missions. Or what are they? Collect players from Ligue 2. Jesus Christ. That's the only one they've got, though, is just the collect mission for the cards. See, even at the £1.69-ish on average, it's going to cost like £400 to put France together. It's probably just not worth it. Have you already claimed your mission collection? No, I won't be claiming those. 111 players for 11k essence and 2 stars, not bad. I disagree, actually. Because those 111 players are going to cost you £400 or £500. Austria and HNL don't play a few months during winter, so Bundes and League 2 can make sense there. Bundes 2 would be good for that, but yeah, League 2, if it's only 4 teams, it's probably not worth it. So I think we will probably commit to not picking up J League and not picking up the French League 2. Bundesliga is over 500 players for the Bundes 2. And then the Championship. What's the total collect players? Yeah, over 600 players. Like, don't get me wrong, Championship is going to be costly just because of the sheer volume of teams. Depends where the stars come from, I guess, if we learn it's random. If the stars are random, it's going to be a real pain because I just know that half of them are going to be MLS and K-League cards. If I get outbid in an auction, do I get the back the market credit discount? Yes, you do, yeah. Feels like a contender where you get the top streak or 2. You're going to want the highest scores, and League 2 does have that in my view. Which teams do they have that are good for that? 111 times 1.7 equals 189. Yeah, but you're not going to get every single player at 1.7, are you? You'd expect the average price to be in that £3 to £4 range. St Etienne, Reims, and Nantes should be decent. The other one is Grenoble. Okay. Hey, maybe you've talked me into it. Maybe you've talked me into it. I saw the Bundes 2 had the 5th highest 80-plus different scorers over the last season. Yeah, they did have a lot. So in terms of the collections, whenever this updates again, whatever, but Austria, Croatia, Belgium, Portugal, and Scotland, we're basically done on. We need to start working on Eredivisie, Bundes 2, France 2, and the English League. When the cards come out, when these like La Liga cards come out in 3 days, 4 days now, actually, I won't be buying them straight away. I might be trying to sneak those bids in and getting those £1.70 players as much as I can, but I will not be buying players. Same as English League players, same as French League, and same as Bundesliga. I will only be picking up the £1.70 players until I'm at a point where I just feel good with the prices in the league. What was like a Kimmich last season? And if that does mean that I end up missing out on the first game week or 2, I don't mind. I've got plenty to be getting on with. What's up, Josh? How you doing, man? Is the owner of that spreadsheet willing to share it? But it's like tied to the API of Sorare, so it's not like you wouldn't be able to use it. Look at that. I bought Kimmich for 276. And again, in that moment, that was good. I'm curious this year, because I'm sitting here saying, oh, look, he was down at 172, like by the time they kicked off their season, and I bought him at 276. Okay, the outlier for 430 is there. I'm curious to know if he'll be higher or lower this year, because anytime entry is going to be unbelievably valuable for players like Kimmich, like Dembele, like Kane, like Diaz, like Olise, like Upamecano and Jonathan Tah, like Pacho and Marquinhos. Like anytime entry you're just going to be sitting there saying, I'll buy Marquinhos and Beraldo, and if I now know one of them's going to start. So it is going to be fascinating. Damn, 1965, the year Nick 2018 was born. Let's run 10 just because you deserve it at this point, guys, for sitting here. If you get into Bundes 2, leave Nuremberg alone for a few days. I'll do as a goddamn please. I'm trying to collect them as the Sorare Inside Expert, but the prices have been horrific. Why do you need the cards to be the Sorare Inside Expert? Can I just get some like market credits, please? Nope. Waste of 10 spins that was. Right, we do need to spend some essence. Sommer, Heymans, Zorgain. Yes. Pavlidis. Yes. Yes, we believe it. This Pavlidis. Shoofs. Isn't Nepen a good player, or is that a different Nepen? Delorge Ganipa. I suppose I don't, but I'm hoping they can yield me some ROI whilst I work on them for the season. Kevin McAllister. Opoku. Sanjago plays a bit, doesn't he? He's on loan from City. Wonder Kid in the making, apparently. The Nepen. Yeah. Forest bid 20 mil for that Dalali of USG. Is that right? Oops, somebody's on the naughty step. See if we can burn a bit of this here. Oh, he's already left. Cool. He's gone. Damn. Khatibur. Marley Ake. Damn. I've got a signed physical card of him from when he was at Juventus. Beljo will pop on. Nepen struggled on loan at Borough last season, but definitely talented. That probably suits Belgium a bit more. Fair enough. Kind of want to see the guys that are 400 already so that I can keep stacking up the guys that I've been working on. That'll do for now. Get rid of some of that XP. Premier League will be exciting this season. Can't think Newcastle could go down, though. I mean, if they lose all of their best players. 1964. Yeah, for lineups, guys. That's where it gets interesting now. Because the wonderful Wizard of Oz. We get to go and put in a lineup in the SPFL. And obviously that first game is Rangers against Dundee United. And so the question straight away is, do I use Pandur? Because, I suppose the question is, will one Dundee stack and one Dundee / Rangers split stack be enough to carry me through that first stage? I feel like the answer is yes. And therefore it makes me think Pandur can go in. Let's pick only these ones. Similarly for Tyranny and CCV, I could certainly save one of them for the streak and use one of them. Or do we put our first lineup as mostly Rangers? Do we go for Godfrey or Fernandez in here? The Scottish leaderboards are so bad. Always, yeah, but they're bad, but they're good, right? Because if you win 16,000 essence and you craft some sick cards, you're going to make some good money. If you win 8,000 essence, 4,000 essence, it has value. And I don't if I hit 500 points with a Rangers stack on the first level of streaks, I guarantee you having it in leaderboard would have been significantly more impactful. To be honest, I would put best possible team in first week. Not a lot of people are going to have good teams. Have you thought about how long it's going to take to reveal every card when the time comes? Yeah, I mean, I didn't reveal many of them last year. And I think you do get a reveal all button as well, don't you? But it's not really something I'm concerned with. I won't get any value out of revealing the cards. Aberdeen. Yeah, midfielder. See, I don't have much for Celtic and Rangers in midfield so far. Devlin and Asgard are both 70%, so I should save those both for streaks then, shouldn't I? Because there's some jeopardy with them starting. Who are the Celtic midfielders? I don't have any other Celtic players are expected to start. Streaks first, always, in my opinion. Yeah, but I mean, you're just I don't feel like I need to explain the logic again. It's like you're going out of your way to ignore the logic of why putting them in streaks on that first streak is not as valuable as putting them in the lineups. And there's a difference between 100 Rangers cards for each player already and 100 people having the exact same 5 players in the lineup. Yeah, sure, there's 100 Pandurs, but that doesn't mean the 100 people that have got him have got other Rangers cards. They could have just bought him only. Who do you think is the best in the Premier League? The best what, Ben? Yeah, Celtic is on the Monday night, yeah. Would we go with... Would we go with a classic? A classic Engels. And then put Shankland in here. And then Tyranny and Duran. That's pretty big, isn't it? That's a big lineup. If I choose somebody else over Duran, I can get a 6% multi-club bonus and cap 260 bonus. That could be quite fun. What's up, Mike Baston? How you doing, mate? Did you spend the same amount for Scotland and Portugal? Portugal should be great value with better rewards. No, Portugal was more expensive, I believe. Portugal was... There's England 2 added in. Oh, he's added in contender as a totality. Yeah, Portugal was like 400 more than Scotland, and I've still got some players to buy in Portugal still. I have still got some to buy in Scotland as well, but Braga or yeah, Braga would be good here. And then a little captaincy on Kieran Tierney. That's not a bad little lineup, is it? Wait, so do rare cards get a boost over limited? For your prizes, yeah. Only in streaks, though. Lean more towards playing the earlier games in leaderboard. Celtic are like 5th, 6th game this weekend, so you could be on the top streak. So it's whether you would play a Celtic stack or 2 in that game. So the interesting thing is as well, so there's two things to consider. First of all, I only have Kieran Tierney in here from Celtic because Engels is classic, so I'm okay with that. But also, we really need to figure out this weekend as quick as possible if you can cancel leaderboard lineups and reuse the cards in streaks. Because if I'm on an insane streak and Tierney is slated to start and I could just cancel it and put him into that streak, boom, I'll be happy. The other thing to consider is if I'm on that 6th streak and what I just said doesn't happen and you can't, exclamation mark Sorare, Josh, and you can't cancel a leaderboard lineup to like reclaim the players that haven't been used, I could just go and buy another in-season Tierney for that lineup and then sell him again afterwards. I think you can, but only by listing a card up for sale in the lineup. Oh, that's interesting. Because somebody, Ollie said, you can't. I tried it in contender. I think you can. Percent of those cards looking great already. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Yeah, look at that, 17% on Shankland. Oh, it's because of the 6% cap 260 on multi-club. I mean, that's huge, though, that. You can't, they put it in one of the blogs. But that was about cancelling a streak lineup to reuse the card in streak, not about cancelling a leaderboard lineup to reuse the card in streaks. I have a cancelled all-star lineup and it says it's still in a lineup. Okay, well, there you go. Asked and answered, I suppose, on that one. You can cancel one of the lineups by listing a card. So rather than actually cancelling the lineup, almost voiding the lineup. If Sorare's intention is that you can't use those cards again, and that's a way to get around it, they will just fix that. Alistair Johnson to Everton looking to happen. Damn. No, that doesn't work. That used to work, but not anymore. Okay, so if I commit this team into the SPFL line leaderboards, this team is playing. Now, obviously, for my goalkeeper sub, I would need Kelly in here. Do I have Kelly's in-season card? I don't, so I wouldn't be able to put that in yet. I'd have to get that. How do I not have his card of all the cards? It's weird. And then for the outfielder sub, would I just choose someone random? Or would I just not use anyone and just keep everyone for... Are subs active simply by a DMP? Yeah. This is from the blog. Other details. A card used in a pro hot streak lineup is locked out of arena for the same fixture. And the reverse holds. A card played in an arena lineup can't enter a pro board lineup or any match happening during that game week. So they're trying to obviously then stunt people from abusing anytime entry, which I don't mind. I like, you know, if you've committed a player to a lineup, then you've committed to them to that lineup. It would be unfair on other people, I suppose, if you could just start randomly cancelling lineups willy-nilly to take advantage of other players. Do subs have to be in season as well? Yes, they do, yeah. Just refresh, Mike, I think, and it'll fix it. You do, it's on over. Oh, I do, you're right. You are correcto mundo. I was going to say I would have been shocked if I didn't have him, but he can go in there. Oh no, he can't go in there. He can go in there. Well, he could go in there. I could just put Pandora in as a sub, but he can go in there. And then the other sub would be somebody with like so now that we've got subs, I want somebody who is less than 70% chance to start. I want somebody from kind of like Celtic or Rangers that won't be starting or isn't slated to start. Why is Nigren at 10%? Scales is suspended, obviously. I basically want a Rangers. I want who's Rangers player who's their striker? Is it that English kid? Is Miovski likely to be the sub or whatever? Nigren is done. Oh, is he? Injured Achilles. Oh, Jesus. Naderi, maybe? Ryan Naderi. You would pick Romens. Romens from... I don't have a Romens. Could be Tremiti if he doesn't play two strikers. So I'd probably like to save Tremiti for the streak. And use him in a split with like Shanklin Classic. Who's like the most likely sub? Is it Miovski? You do. He's 90% to play. Is he from Rangers? Because that's who I want. I want the Rangers backup striker. I'd say Gassama or Curtis. Well, I've got another Miovski there. Have I got two Miovskis? What the hell? Why? Bojan Miovski. Bojan Miovski. Why the bloody hell? No. This has to be like bugging out because there's no way I've got all of these players from Rangers. There's like 4 Tremitis in there. No, there's not. Likely Naderi will be on at some point. Okay, so we'll put Naderi as the sub. There you go. That's my first lineup. Then for the other lineups, and here's where it's going to get really complex, right? For the other lineups, I want to take stock of what the matchups will be. And choose. So we've got Falkirk against St Mirren. Who is the better of the two teams? I'm going to guess St Mirren, but I feel like they could both be as equally poor. Both dog. All right, who's the home team? Falkirk are the home team. So we'll put St Mirren in here. So Chapman. Who's the backup goalkeeper? Oh, it'll be Urminski. And then we'll put a St Mirren defender in. We'll go with this guy. St Mirren midfielder in. We'll go with Sergio Ramos. Falkirk were top 6 last season. St Mirren manager is awful. But that's good. Because obviously Falkirk, if they're the better team, I want to have their players for the streaks, right? Going to use Rare Classic in streaks. I will do, yeah. Oh, St Mirren don't have any starting strikers. That's interesting. And that's going to be a great use case then for the sub spot, isn't it? We'll put a forward in here, this guy. And there you go. This will now be a leaderboard lineup. Now listen, if this crashes and burns, who gives a shit? Do you know what I mean? Who gives a shit? We'll captain Sergio Ramos. Then we'll go for the next game, which is Aberdeen against Hearts. I feel like I want to preserve all of those players for streaks. And then we've got St Johnstone against Kilmarnock. Who's the better of those two teams? 10 IQ? Damn, CWT, why you got to be like that, man? Still probably good enough for 500 lessons. So yeah, and if it is, isn't that banging? So Kilmarnock is the better team, yeah? When am I next playing eFootball? It's not on the priorities list, mate, I can't lie. So St Johnstone will be the stack that we put in here. And of course, we'll still have players from St Johnstone to use in streaks. If we, if we crash and burn, we're back on that first streak. No stress, no calm, no qualms. It's calm. Oh, Fotheringham. And then we'll go Logan Chalmers. And then we'll go St Johnstone have just been promoted, have they? Yeah. Oh, so it's like people just don't know who's going to be playing or whatever. Let's just pop this Donny in there. Bosh. Calm. We're gonna captain Fotheringham. What's this you're playing? It's called Sorare. It's fantasy football. Don't know how Gullen is 40% for check chord but off stream. Damn. Yeah, that's a bit mad, isn't it? Sorare should be doing things like that. I know they have done a little bit. There's a little thread on my mouse mat, and it is absolutely pissing me off. No chance Fotheringham and Chambers both start. I mean, they're both 80%, but even if they don't, that is the beauty of the sub, isn't it? And then for the next game, we've got Hibs against Motherwell. Who is the best team? For Hibs against Motherwell. I guess actually I could just go like that and say that it looks like Hibs are favourites. I've found the thread, I just need to pick it out. Are you expecting each league to break even / profit, or as part of the overall strategy expecting that some leagues will cover others? Scosmo, based on the prices that I've paid for each league, in full, of course, if I can't make profit off of every single individual league, I'll be surprised. And I know, I'm really kind of sensationalizing how easy it's going to be, because it's not going to be easy. The mental side of things, the time, is going to be what is the biggest issue. But I absolutely feel and believe that. So I'm going to put Hibs in here. That I can turn a profit off of every single league. Oh, no. I'm going to put Motherwell in here. So Paulson and Connolly. And do you know what's mad? Here's something that I just popped into my head now, because I'm building these stacks of these garbage bang average teams. If I'm putting 4 stacks of less favourable teams into the leaderboards every single week, that 1 week where they do pop, I will win, won't I? Because who's going to have that? No one. Nobody's going to have it. Willie at striker. We do love a big Willie up top. And then we'll put in another forward that's not expected to start. There you go. Oh, I thought Maswanishe was decent last season. I'll put him as a sub. I don't mind that. I cleared out a streak lineup for SPFL to put into leaderboards instead, and now my in-season Pandora just doesn't show up when I took him to put into leaderboards, but still shows up when I go to set a streak. I cleared out a streak lineup for SPFL to put into leaderboards instead. But the lineups haven't locked at all, so you surely should be able to see him, right? He was the top scorer in the league. Oh, was he actually? I think the overthinking will be what gets you when it gets to the bigger streaks. Who to play where that ends up costing you a few times. Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's a really interesting way of segmenting the platform to focusing on one entire league for a smaller gallery this way. Tempted to run this for the championship this season. I think it's obviously I think it's a good strategy. I think when it comes to the championship, the consideration has to be just how many players you'll have to buy to achieve the same goal, because there are so many teams. So now I've got those players locked out. What is that? 5, 10, 15, 20, 28 players locked out. That's so fine, isn't it? Obviously, once that first game comes, we'll then be able to go to Arena Classic, Cap 260, and we'll be able to go and put in whoever didn't make it. So from the Rangers Dundee game, I won't have a goalkeeper accessible from that game. So Salinger will be in the streak. I'll have to put a goalkeeper in from like a different game. I've got so many classics anyway that I can use those. It's good, isn't it? I'm looking forward to this weekend to kind of start really feeling. We're going to make some mistakes at the start again, 100% obviously, but I'm really looking forward to the possibilities of what we can achieve. You notice the JPL missions for collections rather than players need to complete 480 collections for a 3-star card. Oh, is that what it says? You're going to have to pre-build streak teams when it all kicks off. Just never going to have time to do it all when the game's every 15 minutes from Saturday till midday until Saturday 8 p.m. Of course you will. I won't need to pre-build streak teams at all. I think you misunderstand how quick and easy it will be, especially when playing stacks, to go, right, the lineups are here. Where are the 100% cards? Oh, this isn't championship. The lineups are here. Where are the 100% cards? Okay, it's him. Oh, it's him. It's him. It's him. It's him. Boom, lineup done. That's it. With classic arenas, yeah, classic arenas will be the same though, right? So the play will be, so like, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to necessarily play every single classic arena. The idea will be to play some classic arenas, but like, let's say again, we'll take the Rangers game as the example. Let's say the lineups come out. We put Walton in. We put. I am going to have to use another goalkeeper in another lineup. I think. I might need to get a classic Walton. We'll put. I don't know who starts. Godfrey goes in from Rangers. Devlin plays. Oh, he's classic. Don't want to use him. Devlin plays Shanklin classic, and then Tremiti. Let's say they all start. Boom. That's my lineup, right? I mean, that lineup should easily win and qualify anyway. Let's say I want to build another lineup. So we've got Liam Kelly. Just who we'll utilize somebody else there, but just for the sake of argument, Liam Kelly goes in. Fernandez goes in. We know the lineup. We know who's starting. So Asgard's starting. We know that for sure. He goes in. None of these guys are playing, so we'll put Randall in and we'll put Zapsford in as well. Because if they score, they've got a good chance of playing or whatever. Like, he's the guy that starts. Boom. This is our second lineup. Then with the leftovers, it'll be, let's go to Arena. Let's go to SPFL. Let's go Cap 260. Let's set our lineup. If at this point here, the players that I've got left who are starting are just not good enough, I'm looking at 4 Dundee players and 1 Rangers guy, and I'm going, this is just never going to succeed. I just won't put it in, I just won't put a lineup in. If, however, I've got a lot of kind of excess leeway, and especially for the singular games, I think there are going to be a lot of opportunities that I don't put lineups into the classic arena. But during the game weeks where there are multiple games at the same time, that's when I'll end up having a lot of spare cards that I'll be able to build some lineups into. But you saw how quickly we can build the lineups, right? Like it doesn't actually take long, and because you know who's starting, it makes it just a lot easier. and then 3 p.m. comes around and 100 teams kick off. Yeah, but so Lamelo, you seem to just have a real interesting knack of being hyper fucking negative at all times, and I don't understand why, right? When 3 p.m. kickoffs come, the streaks will get set first. The in-season streaks will get first. The leaderboard lineups will already be done. So then I've got from 3 until what, 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. to, or from 2 o'clock when the lineups come out, setting the streak lineups will be done. The fire lineups, the hot streaks lineups will be done. Then it will be, if like go and look at the other lineups. Like, yes, it's going to take time, but also if I'm not feeling it, I'm not obliged to sit here and do it. It's my choice, right? I'm just being realistic, but you're not being realistic. You're being pessimistic. You're putting a negative spin on absolutely everything. I'm not seeing that full league value on the championship. 10 games at the same time. Yeah, the championship value will come from just having so many more games. Rather, like you won't, like I was explaining this before though. There's such a catch-22. There's such a Liverpool beat Wrexham 1-0. There's such a catch-22 and a gift and a curse for lots of games versus lots of clumped games. So, for example, the first week of La Liga, there is not a single day where a game kicks off at the same time. Like, you will get access to 10 individual games. Now, if you're trying to climb up the leaderboards, first streak, that'll be fine. Second streak, that'll probably be fine. Third streak, you actually might be all right because Villarreal should smash Racing Santander. But your fourth streak, you're probably going to lose a life here. You will probably lose a life here. You will probably lose a life here. And then you're hoping that Atletico Madrid take you home to getting up that fourth streak. Then you're probably losing your life here. You might even lose a life here. And you might even lose a life here. And now you're back at the start. Like, because the games are all individual, it's going to be a big struggle. It's going to be a big struggle to, like, actually get through the rounds. Whereas in the championship, not the Champions League, in the championship, the first round one is pretty good because you got this first one, which again, first streak should be all right. Bolton against Preston, who knows if you lose a life there. But then you've got all these 3 p.m. kickoffs. You're bound to go up that next streak so long as you're not a complete like brain dead. Then you've got a couple more individuals where it's going to be like you could easily lose lives and lose your streak levels here. Sure. When we get to round 2 and it's 3 games at 12:30, loads of games at 3, and then the Burnley game at midday the next day. I quite like this because you're giving yourself really good opportunities and really good options to progress safely. So likely you'll hit streak 1 here. Likely you'll hit streak 2 here. Even if you don't hit streak 3 here, you're only going to lose 1 or 2 lives. And then round 3 is in the oh no, that's another weekend here, where it's again clumped 3 games and a setup here. And then for round 4, it's in the midweeks. So again, it's like you've got all of these games to pick from to move up and all of these games to pick from to move up. So there's a really good opportunity with games being clumped together to have the grace of mixing and matching when those low lineups come out and saying to yourself, wow, damn, I'll get the pick of whoever the hell I want. I understand your point, but wouldn't it be better to just buy the GR, sub, and third forward best players per squad in that case? Yeah, but you don't know who starts. So if you've gone and bought the goalkeeper and the sub and the 3 or 4 best players in the squad and 2 of those players don't start, you're now going to the market going, oh, crap. Haaland didn't start. I need to get Marmoush. And so you go, Marmoush has started. I need to go and buy him. And then guess what? You see his price go because everybody thought the same thing as you. Now you're overpaying on Marmoush or you're missing out on playing. I feel like in the leagues where you have a lot of games at the same time, you don't need the full league. In the championship, you could just pick 2 to 3 teams in the championship and rotate. No, I don't like that. I may 2 to 3 teams. I think is too less. Maybe like 8 to 10 teams would be like okay. Yes, but on championship case, you have like 6 to 7 teams at the same time. More options to replace those that do not play. Yeah, you will miss out on the 5% collection score. But yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I'd aim for 12 teams in the championship personally. Most of the top half teams. What I said this on the stream earlier, and I have to just read it back out again because I've kind of like spoken something and we've done something, and it's made me even more confident about where I'm at. I said to Josh earlier, I've put a why I'm buying one of everything video into Josh edits for Sorare for when you can, please. Honestly, every time I do a vibe check on this and talk myself through the process, I can't see any other way it fails than me just not having enough time or skill. And he said it will be time. Now that I've put these lineups, and I don't know if these are the lineups I'm definitely going to keep in here, we'll monitor the situation. But now that I've put these lineups in here, if St. Johnstone just smash Kilmarnock this game, I'm going to like win, you know? Imagine if they just have like a big 5-0 win. I'm just gonna be like, oh my god, I can't believe that. Like I've just won the SPFL division with these deadbeat stacks, and it's just going to be a great way to yield. Even if they get like a 3-0 win and I finish like I don't know, top 20, and it gives me 8,000 essence. How mad is that going to be? I was thinking more of a budget perspective from the championship. Yeah, no, I like the strategy. I like the idea. I like all of the strategies around anytime entry of just having banks of players to be able to like pick from at all times. Can you use the same player in streaks and arena? No. Yeah, you'd also need a plan so far in advance to work out which of those teams you would need. This strategy takes all of that thinking and essentially just makes it a time skill issue. Yeah, it does, yeah. The more I listen to about it, the more excited I get for what's to come. Is it going to be good? 466 entrants so far, which means I've already guaranteed myself 2,000 essence from these deadbeat cards. That's great, isn't it? I was one of the first Hearts buyers last year, won 1,000 from coming first. Great feeling. Let's go. That's banging. But why you want essence? You have all the players. To craft players to sell them. So if I can craft, like if I win 4,000 essence and I craft a Shankland and I can sell him for £80, that's £80 returned on the investment. If I win 1,000 essence and I craft a guy worth £1, that's £1 off the that's £1 returned. Do you know what I mean? The Liga game weeks will annoy some people with how slow Sorare progressed them. A 2-hour window for games starting has killed me in the past for moving up and getting a team out. A 2-hour window. Well, two hours should be enough because the rewards are paid out. Like the game week, like once the game finishes, it's 5 minutes after the full-time whistle. So 2 hours should be more than enough unless there's an unexpected delay in the game. Boxing Day will be mental. Boxing Day will be mad, yeah. Added time is a killer. Yeah, but if you've got 2 hours, right? So let's say you've got 3 p.m. kickoff and then the next kickoff is 5 p.m. 3 till 3:45, 5 minutes of added time. Okay. Re-kicking off at 4:05. Another 45 minutes takes you to like what, 10 to 5. 5 minutes of extra time. 5. Yeah, that 2 hours might be a struggle. 2 hours might be a struggle. Some of the 2 hour gap kickoffs will be difficult. If you progress in a streak, do you get all lives back? Yeah, yeah. These championship prices, other than West Ham, seem very decent for one-offs, which means the rest will just go down. I know you mentioned only having one of each, but if you need to craft a smasher like Yamal, Kimmich, etc., would you keep them or still undecided? No, I'd sell them. I want to stay completely true to the strategy. Are you sure you want to wait for a special card to craft because great price is going to drop? Yeah, I mean, in the very immediate term, I'll be ripping as much essence as I can to get as many players as I can to get back as much money as I can. But there will come a point in time where it'll be like, you know, if a Haaland is like under £100, it might be worth waiting for those special editions. Because let's say I hit let's say I craft 10 cards and one of them I can sell for £50, but the rest are all worth £1. I've made £59. If there's special edition cards in there, all of those will be worth £4 or £5 because people are overpaying for them. You know, for argument's sake, that I'd make nearly as much by waiting at that point. Is it the same in set? Because it took over 2 hours 15 quite often. What took over 2 hours 15? I think if you win in Contender, you only get Contender Essence, correct? Yeah, I believe so, yeah. Some will be fine, some will kill you. It's proper annoying waiting for the rewards. Yeah, I don't think there's too much, like, Championship here, like, it's fine. You know, this is a 2.5 hour window. This is absolutely fine. I think Premier League as well is mostly 2.5 hour windows now. It didn't used to be. It used to be 2 hour windows, but they changed it for, like, because of TV scheduling. Because, like, sometimes the games were just ending so close to the start of the other game that you was missing out on the build up of the other game. Yeah, the hydration breaks in the World Cup were a huge part of it. But Premier League, again, you've got 2.5 hour window, 2.5 hour window, 2.5 hour window. I don't think there's any 2 hour windows anymore. 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours there, 2.5 hours there. Like, it tends to be, maybe there'll be a difference, like maybe there'll be the odd anomaly where it's not, but typically it's 2.5 hour windows. In La Liga, I think La Liga is every single day though. I think La Liga will be fine for that. Oh yeah, 2 hour window there, 2 hour window, and then 2.5 hour window. So you've got a couple of Jeopardy games, which again makes me think, do you know what I'll probably do? I'll probably put like a Sevilla stack in the leaderboard. And I'll probably put a Villarreal stack in the leaderboard. And then rely on Deportivo Alaves and then Espanyol versus Levante for the first 2 streak levels. And then after that, it's every day. And then, yeah, so here, like, I would probably not play. Well, you can do a life here and then just put this in as well. But obviously, if this one wins, this becomes moot. But it would be moot anyway, even if this one won and you waited to put this in. It would still be the same, like the same problem. You don't need to wait for rewards, do you? Didn't they say? Or did that message get removed? Didn't they say you could preset a lineup for the next streak? Yeah, you can preset a lineup for the next streak, but if the current streak hasn't, like, concluded, let's say, verified, validated, I think the word they used was, if they haven't validated the current streak, then your next lineup won't be submitted in. Portugal is perfect for that. Just Benfica and Moreirense home games can, with exceptions, get the same time. Always 2 hours 15 minutes due to TV rights. Yeah, there you go. So, like, it should like, you'll have the odd anomaly game where you're gonna not be able to fit another lineup in after, but you're gonna mostly be fine. I hope. Damn, there we go. It is going to end up being about 35,000 for the lot. I suppose it depends on how well I do at buying the top leagues. It could push up towards 40,000 if I'm buying too early, and it could push down to 30,000 if I buy a good time. Was up live first time? No, I'm live all the time. I pre-ordered Ultimate Plus, but didn't get anything for 26, like the icon pick and the Evos. Damn. Is this tool linked to your Sorare? Yeah, it's linked to Sorare. It's linked to, it updates every hour on the against the API. How come you've already sold 4 cards? Just cards that I crafted. That Scotland 2K is looking really appealing. This like, listen, I don't want ex-professional footballers to tell me off on X anymore. So I'm going to say this as my own belief on my strategy that I'm using, that I do not suggest, wish, push, or hope you engage in whatsoever, okay? All of these look appealing. 2K for all of the Scottish League. And knowing the only ones that are looking less and less appealing are the contenders. because it's going to end up being like 1.5, 2.5, 2.8, maybe 3K, maybe 4. It's going to end up being 5K for the whole of Contender. And that, like, there is only so much value you can extract out of it. So Contender is probably going to be the one that I struggle the most to get 100% or more return on investment on. But Scotland, Belgium, Portugal, England 2, Eredivisie, and then all of the other top 4 leagues, I think they are going to be easy to get 100% return on investment on. There is no button to preset teams on step 2 or 3 like there was in the video from Sorare 27. Yeah, I think that's due to come. France 2 is only 3 teams. Yeah, 4 teams, I think, yeah. If you choose one league with Contender, then it's the same like with Scotland, right? Yeah, it is. The only benefit for Contender, well, the big benefits for Contender, I suppose, actually, I'm saying like about the negatives. First of all, Austria and Croatia do have long off seasons, like mid-season breaks, whereas Germany 2 and France 2 don't. So I'll still be able to play through with those cards. Secondly, as a few people pointed out today, the teams for France 2 are some of the best teams in the league and should be really big scorers. And the games from Bundes 2 kick off at 11 a.m. And if memory serves, the games from France 2 usually kick off at about 7:30 p.m. And then Austria and Croatia is in the daytime. They'll obviously have some Friday games, Monday games, Sunday games and stuff as well. But actually having 4 leagues to pick from will give me a great opportunity consistently to go up 1, 2, boom, reset, 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, reset, all the way up to 6, hit it, 1 top prize. Like I should theoretically race up the leaderboards a lot quicker because I've got so many game time options. Yeah, I played the UC League 2 game. They kick off really late. Yeah, it is late. Yeah. So yeah, like Contender is going to be the difficult one to contend with. That's why it's called Contender, because you contend with the duh. But yeah, I mean, even Portugal. Yeah, I've still got a few players to buy on Portugal. I've still got a few players to go on Belgium. Belgium will be about 2,000 by the looks of things by once all said and done. Maybe a little bit more than that. Maybe up towards like 2,200. And then if we look at the leaderboard opportunities, I'm not even really interested in that. But this board opportunities, I've got the whole season, and I'm going to ignore the 3x, 2x rewards. I've got the whole season to hit that top streak twice to return on the investment. The whole season to hit that top streak 2 times. If you would have asked me in last season's game, how many times do I think I would hit the top streak in the Pro League, I would have probably said 3 or 4 times. And that was without any time entry. And when I didn't have access to every single card. I feel like I'm bigging myself up too much, but I'm making it sound too easy to succeed. I'm making it sound too easy. No, dude. No. You're offering me £6 for this guy. Why? What did I pay for him? £6.75. Why would I sell him? I just bought him for £6.75. Why would I sell him to you for £6? It comes down to skill and time, yeah. For example, I only have Austrian Bundesliga, but it's also accept of the competition because there are more leagues in leaderboard, basically the same as Scotland. Yeah, it's true. I studied and like your strat. You have so many options, but keepers and time are the limiting factors. We'll be following and learning. Yeah, keepers is going to be a really interesting one. I spoke about this on the podcast I did with Laird and Harry. I think we might start seeing a shortage of keepers again. I think keepers are about to become a premium because they are the key to any lineup, aren't they? And with subs now as well, where people are going to be putting their backup keepers in as subs, I think we're going to see a lot of keeper prices going crazy. I have the luxury and the benefit of having so many classic keepers already that it probably won't be a problem for me. If we just go to like, I don't know, ceiling value. We've got Sinisalo Classic, Courtois, 2 of them. Safanov, Nicholas, Kovar, Pickford, Kobel, Costa. He could be huge. He might be huge. How much is his classic now? 20 quid for his classic. That's mad, isn't it? That is mad. I bought it for 40 quid 2 years ago, and it's still worth 20 quid. That is crazy. Who else have we got? Kudjakov. Oh, he's in season. Henderson. Kelleher. Trubin. So maybe I shouldn't buy Trubin in season and just use his classic. We've got loads of new bells. Barkas. We've got Vanden Heuvel, classic. De Graaf, Leysen, Wellenreuther. Ignore the MLS guys. Kokobo. Karius. He'll be good for the Bundes second division, won't he? Swallow this, bitch. That's crazy. It may be worth watching for transfer news in net. You could get some contender smashers based on players moving. Yeah. Yeah, Kinski is a star as well, yeah. Diouf, he'll be a good classic. Horn, loads of Hassals just in case. You know, you never know when you need a Thomas Hassal. So, a Galashi, I don't know where he is these days. Olige, Penders, pretty cool one. Apollo, he's pretty cool one. And then in terms of like other classic players that I'll be able to use as smashers, we will have Hakimi's, like basically the best of the best. You know, Vitinha, VVD, Vinicius Jr. twice for classic. Sergi Dominguez, Rafinha's, Pedri's, Lamines, Kubasi, Dembele's, two of them. Olise, Mittelstadt, you know, if we know he's starting, he's smashing, happy days. Erdegaard's Vanetzex, Gulashi going to Villarreal, is he? That's a good entry goalkeeper point as well. Lamine, Luis Diaz, Kylian Mbappe's two of them. Jude Bellingham's two of them. Joshua Kimmich's two of them. You know, when Bayern lineup comes out and Kimmich starts, because of course he would, I'm going to be able to put classic Kane with in-season Kimmich in one lineup, and then classic Kimmich with in-season Kane in another lineup, and then mix and match the other Bayern players around them to try and isolate the best opportunities to score. Probably for your strategy would be good to buy some goats from the other leagues like Turkey, etc., to mix if the game's colliding time, though. No, I don't think so. I won't be doing that. I've got so many players from there already. And then when it comes to, you know, when we get up to the third streak, fourth streak, fifth streak, and I do want to use a classic rare, we've got so many good players already to put in there. And so these are all good for 15% boost on rewards. In fact, those lineups that I've already put in, I should, in theory... No, dude. No. I should, in theory, be putting a classic rare in there. Right? One of these teams should have a classic rare card. Maybe this one. Maybe this one. Have I got a goalkeeper that's expected to start? No, I haven't. Just my Liam Kelly's. Yeah, maybe a rare. Maybe I'll go and get the in-season, like a whatever in-season goalkeeper I need to play here, and then put like classic rare Tierney and captain him, because that'll give me a 15% return on the rewards, which only will be 150 essence bonus. But that's a boat. Like, why would I say no to that? Does playing with a classic card in leaderboards give any disadvantages? Just the potential of XP. I've got 14% on this Kieran Tierney though, so that's more than I'll have on like an in-season Kieran Tierney at the start. That's for sure. And then I mean I could even play two classic Kieran Tierneys, right? I could put one in this lineup. Oh, I've got Lawrence Shankland classic here. Yeah, so unless I want to put Shankland's in-season in here, and then classic Tierney. Have you thought about picking up a classic Pandeur? Yeah, I might do. You have a classic Marius Müller who starts instead of zero goalkeeper. Yeah, the thing is that like I could put an in-season goalkeeper here, but then if like I basically need it to be from Dundee or Rangers, basically. Oh, GG's, Julie. I haven't got that once. Because if I don't use them all from the same game week, let's say I've got the guy that you said about Müller, wherever his name is. Yeah, this classic Marius Müller. Let's say I've got him in here, right? Let's say these 4 players get 317 points between them. Now, and let's say these guys bust out and don't get the points total. Now I've got to wait until this game plays to get to the next streak. So I'm better off just having like a classic. I'm probably better off putting the Dundee United classic goalkeeper in here, and then not having that Kieran Tierney. Like, anyway, guys, for today, how long will we stream for today? Too bloody long again. Yep, 3.5 hours. For today, that's going to be the end. I will be live tomorrow for a couple of hours in the morning-ish area, around 10 for a few hours. But yeah, but you'll be waiting anyway at that point. No, not if I succeed it, though. Do you know what I mean? If the goalkeeper is the one that succeeds it. Yeah, I'll be live tomorrow for a couple of hours, and we'll polish off a few more collection pieces and start lineup building tomorrow, because we're going to have to. I do like, before we do go, I do like what Sorare have done in here with the lineups, with the deadline now only being 90 minutes before the individual league's first game kicks off. I think that's a really good upgrade. Obviously, it doesn't help with Classic Arena, but it does help overall, which is pretty cool. Anyway, guys, cheers for watching.